Choo choo, choo choo. Ha 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 ha.
What is up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to FSP. This is March 19th, Thursday, 7:09 p.m. Central Time, and we are live. Got a lot to talk about today. It seems like lately, when we're having shows between shows, there's like a million things happening in the gaming world these days. So it's fun to have so much stuff to talk about. But yeah, we do have a lot to get to. So thank you for being here for the show, and you guys rock. I always appreciate every single one of you being here in the chat. Also, if you interact on Twitter, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening on audio platforms as well, I appreciate you. And quick note on that, I wasn't able to upload last week's audio version or to the podcasting audio platforms because there was some kind of error with the file, and I don't know what's going on with it, but it won't export. So I'm still looking at trying to get that fixed. So I apologize. I think it has something to do with the copyright claim that was done because of Tidbits, the WWE trailer, when I had to edit it. And then I downloaded it afterwards, and I think it's causing like error in something when I'm trying to export the file after editing it and stuff for audio. But still working on it. Not sure if anybody knows a way around that. Let me know. But we will hopefully be able to get this week's episode up with no problems, because this week there will be no Tidbits because there is no Fuzzy Belvedere here. He is actually doing a early screening for Ready or Not 2. So congrats to him for that.
He sent you the stuff.
Oh, did Fuzzy send me the Tidbits?
Pretty sure he did earlier.
Oh, did he? Okay, well, maybe we will have Tidbits. I don't know. We'll see if we can figure it out. I think there is some good games this week. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for being here. You guys rock. And speaking of people being here, we do have an awesome person that hasn't been able to be here in a while, and he's lucky enough that he got some time tonight to be able to join us. So I appreciate you being here, Jasper. What's up, dude?
Going pretty good. Been working like crazy, as you can imagine, and been playing Pokemon Pokepia in my off time. So it's kind of what I've been up to. And I started Crimson Desert just a few minutes ago. Haven't done anything but start the game,
Right on.
but I started it.
So I do have a question about Pokemon Pokepia. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said it's like Animal Crossing Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's like Animal Crossing, Dragon Quest Builders. I would say it leans more into the Dragon Quest Builders element than the Animal Crossing, but it's kind of a
Yeah.
mix.
So is there like rare Pokemon?
Yeah, there's legendaries.
Right. So like if you get those, what happens in your Pokemon Pokepia world?
So I just got one the other night. It was the first one I got, and it said something like it will help increase your environment level. So if you make all your Pokemon, your environment level, if you make all your Pokemon happy, your environment level goes up, and then you can buy new like items and stuff in the store. So you need a higher environment level. And if you have a legendary, it increases all the morale of the other Pokemon in that town.
Oh,
Essentially,
cool,
at
man.
least the one I got.
Well, maybe it'll come to PC at some point. My daughter has claimed control of the Switch, so if I want to play anything, I pretty much have to try and steal it from her room. And But she might be interested in that. I don't know. That's why I was asking to see like how cool it is. Kate was playing it's something in Game Pass called the TGC collector
Oh,
card
the card
shop.
shop
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
simulator card shop thing, and she was addicted to opening packs in that.
yeah.
So, but that's cool, man. Well, thanks for being here, Jasper.
Yep.
Do you have any like you said you started Crimson Desert, but it was like super early. Do you have any like first initial impression, like were you
The
wowed or?
I literally started the game and then talked to one person, and it was 6 o'clock, so I came over here to the show. But I will say the loading screen, the music in the game is amazing so far.
Very early impression, but that's positive.
Yeah,
Yeah, this game is causing like interesting
it's mixed right now.
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird because I see a lot of like games media, actually like being like, "Oh, this game is amazing," and then the other games media is like, "This game is garbage," you know. So it's very very mixed, which is interesting to see. I think it's going to be just completely based on personal preference. I saw somebody saying it looks like ass on console on Twitter. I don't know if that was legitimate or not. But I know that the digital foundry thing they did was only on the Pro, the PS5
Yeah.
Pro, and they were like praising that. Yeah, you're playing on PC though, right? So you wouldn't be able to get any impressions on that. So I am curious if you are playing Crimson Desert on console. How does it look? Is it holding up? Like, is it running well? I've got questions on that kind of stuff. I think this is a game for me. I'm gonna probably wait and just get it on sale down the line, just because of how big it is. I can't see myself investing that much time into it right now. Um, but it seems like for the takes have been like, from some it was just like I saw like Jason Schreier, which I don't trust Jason Schreier's opinions on games whatsoever. He was like, it feels like a game that's just made for people to consume content. Like it was basically like had no soul or whatever. It was just like a bunch of shit to do, right? But I've seen some people are like, wow, it's amazing. I've seen some say it's like slow to get started into, but once you really get everything, it's amazing. There was somebody that talked about how they witnessed some of the games media just like literally just get stuck in some of the tutorials, and then just
Well, I
kind
mean
of give
that's no
up on it
surprise.
and then review it from there. I think it's going to be one of those games. It's like, okay, this is once you get into it and really, the more you get put into it, probably the more you get out of it.
Yeah.
And maybe for some people, it isn't going to seem worth it to do that, and some are going to just be completely entranced by it. So yeah, it's interesting. I know Steele's looking forward to it. Are you planning on playing more tonight, Jasper?
Yeah. When we're done here, I'll probably play a little bit. Uh,
Okay.
I know I'm never gonna finish this game just because it's like probably
Yeah.
like a 150-hour game or whatever. But I just thought it looked cool and it seemed kind of interesting to play, so I picked it up and can't wait to check it out.
Yeah.
More of it.
Well, it is like something to say like for a game that just comes out that is that big and has that much content in it. It's like, hey, they don't expect you to buy a bunch of shit or do all these other kind of things. Like even what Jason Schreier said is like if the game's about for people that are looking to consume content, it seems like there's a lot of content for people to consume. And if they think that content is high quality, then I don't really know how much is wrong with that. You know what I mean? So there's a
Yeah,
lot.
I don't really understand that
Yeah,
take because like every game that comes out,
it's
its
consuming
entire
content.
objective is to consume the content
Yeah, it is
of
very.
that
That's
game.
very true. Yeah, what else are we actually doing? Are we digesting the content is another way to put it. Like what like, consuming what else could we be doing? Feeling the content. Um yeah, what would be the contrast? What would be the opposite that would be a good thing to say instead of consuming the people looking to consume content. Um yeah, that's very true, bro. That's like all we do with gaming. So Jay Rich says Series X runs good so far. Right on. Depka says gamers are loving it, journalists are hating it. I've seen like Paul Tassi go on the defense of this. Again, another person I completely don't trust his opinions on games. I don't trust any games media person whatsoever's opinions on game. I don't trust anybody's opinions on game except for my own. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen
Yeah.
like people say like, "Hey, look at reviewers," and if you find somebody you jive with, but no matter who it is, there's always somebody that I just completely disagree with their take on it. You know what I mean? But what is interesting is seeing people like go to the defense, like some games media, even like Paul Tassiel is going to the defense of this, much like a lot of games media went to the defense of High Guard, right? Whereas they don't have the same energy when other games get like panned by media, or even games that are rated higher, you know. And the game what we're going to talk about in a little bit, like Starfield, it was like an 80 something on Meta, right? Had good reviews, but like the overall conversation about it at launch was like how disappointing it was from games media and everything, even if their reviews read differently. And then when everybody was like, something seems off here about your scores versus the words you're saying, and like expectations and all these other kind of things, like everybody was expecting this game to be like No Man's Sky, but they're all like, no, this game deserves what it got. It deserves it. It's not meeting like the demand or the expectations of the gamers. Blah 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 blah. But then they're out here defending Crimson Desert like that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's strange that everybody's in it. Games media is always going to pick and choose on these things. You know. But what we have learned, Jasper, is that obviously games media is influenced by popular opinion. In fact, Digital Foundry pretty much admitted that. I don't know if you saw this.
I didn't watch their video on it. I just watched the few videos that NVIDIA put out about DLSS 5, so I didn't even give a shit to listen to Digital Foundry's opinion on
it. Yeah, we're gonna definitely. I mean, we can go ahead and get into it, because this was like something that was a massive deal. Like I gotta admit, when I first just saw the initial video, I was like, that looks pretty crazy. Was my initial reaction. Like, that's a huge difference. You know what I mean? And I noticed just instantly, though, they were only focusing on like faces really, and like very close up shots, and like not moving images really too much and stuff, you know, not like fast moving action or anything. It's just like, look at these people, and I was like, wow, they look really different. Like that's crazy. I like, what, like, how is it that different? And then I was looking at it, and then I started to look, as like, why do they look so different? You know, I don't really know what DLSS 5 is, or what the technology behind it was, or anything like that. And I didn't have an opinion really if like it looked great or bad either way. I just was like, wow, that looks really crazy different and like ultra real looking. But like I was just imagining, like, what if the whole game looked like that? Is that like I don't know if that's what I would want or not. And I would have to see it in action really to see it and play it and feel it, you know. But man, I saw the reactions from tons of people just coming out being like, this is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. I'm like, okay, wow, that's crazy, you know, how much people are hating this stuff. And I saw a lot of people come out with the opposite, being like, this is amazing. Like hip hop gamers going out there, everybody's wrong. This is fucking incredible. This is like the most insane shit ever kind of energy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be somewhere in the middle. I don't think anybody really knows what it's actually gonna look like when it's actually being used by devs and in real case usages, instead of just like a NVIDIA demo trying to showcase how different things can be, you know. But it's also raised a lot of AI debates and stuff with the amount of change that is being done is like a kind of like a filter almost, it looks like, that's being put over the game.
Yeah.
Which was kind of off-putting. Like, I don't think people really want that on their games, so I don't have an opinion too strong on it either way. I'm just curious to see like what it actually looks like playing a game. Maybe something to eventually like turn on, you know, and then it's like, okay, do I like this or do I not? If I do, I leave it on. If I don't, then turn it off, you know. Um, what was your like initial impression on DLSS 5 when you're watching it?
When I first saw it, there was a lot of the side by sides of like
Mm-hmm.
the Grace and was it Leon from Resident Evil, and then there's like
Yeah.
the Starfield character. Uh, when I initially saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right.
um, but
Because like Grace just all of a sudden has makeup on and her hair got
yeah,
done. You know what I mean? It has like the highlights in it and stuff, and it's like, is this the
it's a
same
different
person?
person.
Right. It looks like a different person. And I think that's your reaction is right there, because I think that's the most polarizing one, because it looks like one of those memes people would do, like when they were trying to call like the Fable character ugly, or like
Yeah,
Aloy ugly, and they're like, "Oh, let me fix this game for you. This is what it should look like," and it'd be like some AI image of some like generic looking like attractive female or something, and it's like, "Oh, this is what Nvidia does," and it created a lot of funny memes though. All right, anyway, continue, bro.
yeah. Um, but yeah, initially I was kind of taken back by it, and as I've looked more into it, I've become more mixed on it, I would say, because when I initially saw that, I hated it. But so a few of the negatives, it seems to do objects pretty poorly. Because there was a FIFA clip they had where the soccer ball just like fused into like a weird like ball of clay that was kind
Yeah.
of weird. And then there was a clip where they were like driving a car, I think, and it gave the car an extra wheel. So
Does that improve the handling or like make it?
so
That's funny.
some of the objects in the
Yeah.
distance, I think it still needs some work on. And then I'm mixed on a lot of the characters. Like some of the Hogwarts characters just didn't. It just looked like an AI character facelift that did not look good. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
Starfield characters look decent. So I'm kind of mixed on it. I'm just more so when it actually comes to gameplay.
Yeah.
Are the characters going to look like they don't belong in the world anymore?
Right. Yeah, like when
Because
you're
it
playing it, is it gonna give you that
it changes the
off
art
put
style.
feeling? Right. Um, I that was the one of the debates that's been going on is about like, well, this is just changing the lighting and it makes this big of a difference. Is what some people are saying, and then there's like other people like this is a fucking AI filter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it is.
And then like you hear like the explanation actually go into it. It's like using neural rendering or whatever, and it's like basically um changing the geometry or like I don't know if they use the word changing, but like enhancing the geometry, or utilizing the information from the geometry to like input new geometry that's and more
Yeah,
enhanced or something, is the best way I can really think of how they're trying to explain it. And it's like people are like, this is just generative AI,
yeah,
basically, like an AI filter being done in real time, you know,
yeah. I mean that's essentially what
over
it
the
is.
game.
It seems like.
Does it concern you how, because if this is neural rendering, right? Does that concern you that like next gen everybody's just talking about neural rendering, and like are we going to end up living in this world where all games potentially look like this AI filter on top of it?
I don't know if I don't think next gen consoles will have it because it's still probably a year away for Nvidia whenever they get out their
Well,
new
yeah, AMD is
line of
supposed to
cards.
be announcing their own with like the whole I forget, like Jason Ronald, he used at GDC,
Yeah,
he used this term, I think it was like um something diamond or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was like the next gen version of whatever of not Fidelity FX. I forgot what
FSR.
FSR. Yeah, it's like FSR Diamond
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember him talking about like stuff that it was gonna have, and like people were talking about neural rendering, and like AMD is gonna be announcing their version soon, which I'm sure they will probably learn from this announcement, right? So they
Yeah.
have the upper hand in here on how to present it. And then also like other companies will, Intel may have something like that too, or something. You know, who knows, right? But it is interesting to seeing the reaction. Now, I think that from what we can see now in like a demo like this, I don't think the real world results are actually going to be that drastic. I don't know though. I
I
mean,
mean, that's true, because if you go back and I mean, you're going to get some of it because that's what they're showing anyway. They may tweak it and turn it down a bit, I would think, and just not tell anyone yet.
yeah.
Um, but if you look back at previous NVIDIA like demos, especially with their like ray tracing stuff, like I remember the Cyberpunk one specifically when they announced like DLSS uh, ray tracing reflex or whatever the hell it was called,
Mm-hmm.
where like they're gonna simulate all the ray tracing stuff, and they showed like the Cyberpunk demo where it was like all the neon lights reflecting off the ground and like the rain and stuff. So no one really uses that either.
At least not on consoles too much to this point.
Yeah,
It's starting to be utilized a little bit more, but I think like Cyberpunk has been used as
yeah.
like the
The
showpiece for ray tracing and path tracing and everything for Nvidia.
Yeah, path tracing. That's what it was called.
Mm-hmm. Which supposedly is supposed to be on next gen. You know, I mean, they're using ray regeneration and path tracing and all these other fancy words. So I think that's going to be the catchphrase instead of ray tracing for next gen. They're going to talk about path tracing and ray regeneration a lot, whatever that means, and neural rendering.
I think the best use case for this DLSS 5 thing that they were showing off. Honestly, I feel like it's older games that are like 15 years old, because essentially you're remastering them at that point.
Right.
But it's
Yeah.
also kind of like it's kind of like when Halo 1, when they had the Halo anniversary come out, and then they're like, oh, look at
Mm-hmm.
all the new graphics, whatever, and they suck. So everyone just went and played the old original graphics in the game. Like
Right.
you could toggle between them, but everyone just played on the original. So I don't know if people are actually going to use
Which
it.
was a skin, basically a
Yeah,
the filter kind of put on over the top using Unreal, right? Um, they did a way better job with Halo 2 anniversary with the
yeah,
graphics and the updated graphics, but like yeah, Halo 1 anniversary was like it just
it
changed
changed the game.
it changed the tone of the game
Yeah,
completely. Like you had all this yellow shit everywhere that was never there before. Like levels that were dark and eerie were like bright, you know? And I'm like, this is just not it, bro. And I like you, I
and
played in the original, like in the regular format most of the time because it looked better.
I'm afraid that may be what happens with this DLSS 5 thing. Is if it's just changing the lighting like they say and stuff, then either way it's going to change the tone of the game.
Right. Yeah, like you could have scenes that are like meant to be aesthetic and mood, like induce a certain mood, right?
Yeah,
And if it's like changing things too much, it could influence that definitely. Now they did say like it's gonna be up to the devs to be able to utilize this stuff and see how it's utilized. So
but yeah. I
you
mean,
know,
all of it's a toggable thing that they
right.
can switch on and off.
So well, I guess we'll see like what actually happens. I'll test it on Kate's got a 5000 series Nvidia card, so I'll like test Starfield on that. I'm sure AMD will probably announce their thing at some point here, not too long. So we'll see. Adidas 20 is a member for 13 months. Says, salute. What's up, Adidas? Hope you're doing well. Alvin says a member for 45 months. Says Yo Mav, are supers disabled? Not letting me at all. I don't know, man. It should,
I have the
they
button.
shouldn't
I can
be.
do it.
Why don't you test it, Jasper? Why don't you try 100 or something like?
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding. I mean, we got to see. You know what I mean? We just got to find out. No, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why that would be happening, Alvin. It's giving you
Maybe
the option
refresh or
to.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's giving me the option to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Is it? Yeah, I don't know, bro. So hopefully get it fixed. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I wish I knew what was going on there for you. Yeah. Shout out to the chat though. Shout out to Davo. What's up? Fuzzy Tomato. How's it going, Mr. Waffles? What's up, Trey Bone? I said that already. I think. No, I didn't. Trey Bone. What's up? Poison Maniac. How you doing? Depka. Let's see. Be Nice. Void Rat. Back from Dead. How's it going? E Ranks. PTK Blam's in the house. Hope you're doing well, PTK. 3 bits on his way. He's gonna join us today as well. He said that's absolutely awesome. And hey, congrats to Psycho. Psycho got himself a ROG Xbox Ally X. I think he got the X because he didn't show an actual picture of what he got. He shared like a stock image. A stock image of what he got. So like whichever one you got, bro. Congrats, man. Because the ROG Ally is pretty fucking awesome, man. Shout out to UMac22TH4 member for 13 months. Says what's up? What's up to you, good sir? Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy seeing. My favorite thing though is the memes. Do you see a lot of the memes?
Yeah, I was loving those.
Yeah,
I
those
think
are
you
fantastic.
made a really good one with the Sonic stuff. I think you did that.
Yeah, I put a Sonic one out there.
Yeah.
I had another idea. I asked. I didn't have the talent to make it. I asked Kate to make it. Then she thought it might be a bad idea for me to put it out there. So we didn't end up doing that one. Alvin 903. Yeah. I'm not gonna say my idea. Alvin 9033 with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you, Alvin. Says Tess. I imagine a world where Craig had DLSS 5. Yeah, bro. That would be crazy. I gotta still defend Craig a little bit. Because I think Craig was. I think that whole thing was like overblown. Like when, and I remember it like blew up like crazy. How many games do we sit there and take a close-up image of a cannon foddered enemy and zoom in on their faces? And if you do, right, on most games, you'll think Craig looks pretty damn good comparatively, right? Just go out there when you're playing a game, unless it's like Hellblade 2 or something like that, right? And you're going like and all these enemies everywhere. Just take a in motion image of somebody that's not even up close in a still shot and not even photo mode or anything, you know, and zoom in on the face. Then I think you'll actually be like, maybe they were maybe Craig was underappreciated. Maybe Craig didn't look so bad after all. But apparently it looked so bad that it got the game delayed. But yeah, could you imagine DLS? That's another concern here, though, Jasper.
What?
All right, what if, hear me out, the technology gets so good with this NVIDIA shit that they just make horrible looking non-defined faces and they just expect fucking NVIDIA to vogue them up a little bit for us.
Ooh, that was like the Minecraft cow. There was a meme of that.
Yeah,
it was like a Minecraft cow, and then it was like replaced it with like a real looking cow. Or whatever.
Well, there was one too with like what's the Minecraft
Like
character's name?
Oh, Steve.
Steve, yeah. There's like Steve going like this, and like there was like an actual looking guy with a square face with square head.
Yeah.
Was absolutely fucking hilarious. Kate's gonna get some DLS.
No.
DSL 5 lip injections. Yes, I get it. I get it, baby. I really get it. I'm just kidding. All right. No, Omar says Craig face. Yeah, you remember Craig face? Yeah, imagine like, okay, 3-bit could get lazy, okay? 3-bit could be like, I'm gonna make this guy look like he has clay face, and like he's just gonna look like a generic untextured shit. Don't worry, DLSS 5 will take care of it. It's gonna turn him into fucking Brad Pitt. Yeah, could you imagine, guys? I mean, like the filter is pretty crazy on this thing. But I think it has its limitations in motion as well, for sure. I did see some people talking about how just in general, like the actual like objects and stuff in the background, for the most part, looked better, right? So there is some use case for that, but I think there's a lot of issues with it now for the um way that they were
Objects in
showing.
motion.
Yeah, they were purposefully not showing any fast moving scenes,
Yeah.
and that's got to be a little bit of a concern because like what happens in those cases? Is the AI not quick enough to determine?
I kind of wonder if it's going to be like, like if you ever use like one of those filters on like Snapchat or TikTok, whatever, where it like replaces your face, but if you like turn to the side a little bit, sometimes it like glitches out and like your real face comes through. I wonder if it's going to be like that. Where,
Right.
like if they start moving, like their face just starts phasing a little bit.
Yeah,
it's
that's like
trying to replace it with
yeah,
yeah.
it could be. Um, you need to try DLSS 5 on Laura Croft and see what it do. um, yeah, I mean, imagine the stuff that people use this for. Beer Baron says exactly it's optional for now, but soon they might force it. Well, like, I think part of the problem in general for all these tools that keep getting implemented by NVIDIA, AMD, all that kind of stuff is the over reliance on some of these things for the developers to like not optimize their games, right? Like, oh, it
Yeah.
gives us more headroom, so we're just not gonna worry about optimization until the end, and we're gonna turn this stuff on, Like, will that thinking like make them not put as much detail in the faces or characters, or objects in the back because like they're like, hey, we got headroom here, we'll turn this on, and all of a sudden it'll be fine. But then, oh, guess what? It doesn't actually work as well as they wanted to, Um, kind of like they were talking about with Nanite, and all these
Yeah.
other kind of things, but if you like were on PC and you run like if you turn Nanite on in Fortnite, that shit drops the frames so much. It's insane.
And it doesn't even look any different.
Exactly. Like, so there's all this technology that we're supposed to like, they talked about how much it was going to save resources for developers to be able to create better looking worlds with less demanding and stuff. But then a lot of these things ended up are resource heavy, so like maybe it's less GPU heavy but more CPU heavy or something, you know what I mean? So it's like the games started to run like shit for a long time. And now we're starting to finally see results of positive, I think, uses for these things. But like, I don't know, man. So I feel like these are kind of like not handicaps, but they're like, it's almost like using not cheat. I'm trying to think of a certain word. Not cheats, not handicaps, but it's like they're using something that's kind of limiting their ability to actually fully realize their vision because they're relying on other things, and I don't think that's good necessarily. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But right now, I'm kind of like, we gotta see it in action to really judge it. I'm not for either side right now, just because I don't know enough. I don't think anybody really knows enough, other than like we don't want fucking filters over our games. So if that's
I
all
mean,
it
that
is,
was the. I think it helps with some games, like I was saying, like some games it makes look better. But when you start doing it in every game like they were showing, all the characters just started looking like they came out of the same boat. Like
yeah.
they all have like you can tell they're all AI. Like all the characters when they
Hmm.
made the switch, it's like, oh, you can just AI generate that. If you go to like ChatGPT and type in give me random character, like that's what's gonna come up.
Yeah, something that looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has that AI look to it
Yeah.
for sure. Mac shortcuts. Yes, that's what I was trying. Yeah, it's like they're using shortcuts that maybe aren't going to be in the best interest of the actual game, right? So it's Sappho says I just don't understand the hate for it. Let me get this straight. Both PSSR and DLSS are AI upscalers. They hate the improvements DLSS allows, but applauds PSSR. I seriously don't get it. I don't think the PSSR was been used as an upscaler. I think what this is actually just changing the entire way the game looks. Is the biggest difference here. I don't know if you've seen the videos, Sappho. I don't think people's just hating on DLSS in general. People have been applauding DLSS in general and the AI or the
Well,
upscaling and a lot of the stuff they've been doing. But this has been like if you saw the video going around from a video, like it is literally making the characters look completely different than they did without it on. And some are arguing that's just lighting or whatever, but they're that's not what Nvidia says. Nvidia says it's not just lighting. They're talking about more than that. So it's like one of those things that I think right now is like up in the air. I don't think we can really judge DLSS 5 too much until we actually see it in real world action. I don't think Nvidia did themselves any favors by how they presented it though, because it does look like AI like filter on the top of faces.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if you like it, that's fine, man, because that's completely subjective. I saw a lot of people that's like, hey, that's like amazing. They love the way it looks, and I think that's going to be a preference thing. If you like that AI look to characters and the faces, if you like the way that it changes them to make them look more realistic, for me, it kind of gets into this like unnatural, uncanny valley thing where it's like everything kind of looks the same but off, and different than what it should. It creates this like kind of like separation in a way. And that's the way like I see it when I'm looking at it. But to many people, they may not see that or feel that when they're looking at those images. So it's going to be one of those things like with any art style, any direction or any change to a game, it's going to be like a personal preference thing. So I think overall, like I don't judge anybody for hating it. I don't judge anybody for loving it. I just honestly think in the end, we're going to need to see the real world action of this and results for people to be able to make an actual consensus on it. But
yeah, I think it just like I like it for some games, but I don't think every game. If you do it for every game, it's just going to end up everything's going to look the same, and it's
yeah.
like.
And that's what we got to see. Like, will it actually? Because all those character models kind of ended up having the same look to them, right?
Yeah.
All different games, all different art styles, but all the characters ended up looking similar style and direction, right? So, like, is that now? They said that this was without the devs, So, like, that's what we got to see. We got to see how the devs actually use it. We got to see how it's actually utilized in that sense. So it doesn't have that kind of thing, and that's what I mean. We got to wait and see, But they didn't present it well, I don't think, for this technology using that look. So we'll see, And if that is what it is, I think it's gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way, and also artists, on the games and stuff. So, I don't think anybody like any artist wants to make a character and then that be the character. This was my intention, and then have like AI change it to like a different looking version of that person. You know what I
Yeah, because I
mean?
mean, if that's the case, then at the end of the day, whatever you make
Yeah.
isn't going to matter because AI is just going to change it.
I'll give you an example. Okay. So, recently, like, so with my company, we have like, headshots or whatever for like our business cards and stuff, you know? And, the guy that had them, he used like chat GBT to just like clean them up or whatever, you know, make them look good,
Yeah.
right? And he sent me mine back. And it was just fucking hilarious because it was me, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was like 3-bit where he made you look Asian.
It was just like it was just slightly off. It's just like, okay, that could have been my brother, could have been my cousin, it could even been a twin, you know, but that's not completely identical. You know, like it was me, but it wasn't me. And it's just kind of hilarious. It just made me laugh, you know. And that's my reaction seeing those. It's like that's the character, but it's not the
Yeah.
character. You know what I mean? It's like it's just not it's not them. How they were actually created. So, um yeah, like Gen X says Starfield needed it. Starfield looked awesome. I have a 5090, so I'll use it. Yeah, hey, that's cool, man. We'll see how it's actually used in Starfield. I don't necessarily think the demo that you saw is going to be the actual end result. But if it helps with the way that the game looks and you like the way it looks, hey, use it to your heart's content, bro. I could care less what people use, what they like. There's a lot of virtue signaling with this stuff about AI in general. I'm not doing that whatsoever. I'm just purely about what's like what looks good, what doesn't look good, what I want the games to be optimized well. I want them to run well. I want them to look good. If you think that all these tools make it better, then that's cool, you know. But for me, it's
The
like
best thing that
I don't
came
know.
out of it was the memes.
The memes are fucking fantastic. I will say, oh hey 3-bit, how's it going?
That's good, y'all.
Hey, do you want AI
Howdy.
filters over your characters?
Why not? No, that's not the common answer
Yeah,
on
I was curious what you would
but
feel about it because you're an artist. You know, did you see the did you see the demo?
here you go. Yeah, I did. Resident Evil, Starfield, what was the other one they showed?
Um,
They showed shadows in some previews, I think, right?
They had a
I
FIFA
think
clip.
so.
Yeah, I
They
know in
had
that clip they had FIFA, but I seen somewhere else someone was talking about shadows. It was like in some other smaller thing. But yeah, um, it was cool. Also, hello everybody.
Hello.
I know I'm jumping into the conversation kind of midway, but what did you guys kind of talk about already?
just talked about what we like, what we don't like about it.
Okay.
You're an artist
I
and developer, and like, would you see this as an asset for you? That like, okay, well, like the game, like after I pass off this, it's not going to necessarily look the same if Nvidia uses their shit on it, or do you see it as
Yeah.
like, well, it's just going to make my game look even better?
I see it kind of like how GTA 5 has all these crazy graphic mods. I kind of see it like that, where it may change the artistic vision, um, but it could look shinier in some places. I know like some people are saying it's like a filter. I think I heard you guys talk about like it's like a
I'm
filter
saying
and things
I
might
say
move.
it looks like a filter.
Yeah.
It does look like a
So
AI
whether it is
filter.
actually a
Yes.
filter or not, I don't know, but it looks like a filter, and I like the explanation was like neural rendering using like basically analyzing the geometry and enhancing it and lighting and stuff using AI, right? And I was telling Jasper, I think like that's probably why we didn't see a lot of things in fast motion, because like AI would have to process that information and send out results, you know. So in a sense, it's not a filter, but it is a filter. Because it's like if
Yeah,
you're
it
using a
depends.
Snapchat or something like that, like Jasper said, and you had yourself on screen, and it's reading the information and changing what's there. You know what I mean? So
I guess like yeah, it could be. I really want to see it in motion. It's hard for me to be like, no, it's not. But
yeah.
like, I guess it's just because I've recently been doing neural network things,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you're training stuff on a neural network, um, like so a good example, um, can I get to my nerdiness for a second?
Please,
Uh,
I need a nerdy dev that actually knows this
okay.
shit. So
So, there's a awesome group out there, Corridor Digital, if you guys heard of them.
Yeah,
They've
the
done,
YouTubers.
yeah, they're just YouTubers. They make like VFX videos and things like that. And they've been trying to solve something that's been a problem in the movie industry for like decades, which is green screens. And on green screens, the main problem is like if you have motion blur, if you go like this,
mm-hmm.
that can be a problem because it's like it doesn't know the difference. Like when I go like this, like the edges of my hand create a blend of green. So if I try to chroma that out, it will start to take away pieces of my hand, right? So the hard part of that, you just have to like roto by hand and just eyeball it, which takes forever, and every movie studio has to do it. So they created a neural network to basically tell AI and train it on 10,000 plus images or videos and stuff like that to learn to distinguish it from different scenarios. Like, what if the camera angle's like this and this and this? So it's like training it within the program. So what I'm thinking they're doing is they're going inside of the engine, which is why they need to talk to the developer, and they're going in the actual model, and they kind of talked about it, but like training it on the model itself, which means it's not a filter is like 2D. I'm
Yeah.
thinking it's not that. Like if I go like this on a Snapchat filter, it may like stick to the side
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
or do something like that. But it being three-dimensional, I wonder
So it's a 3-dimensional
what
filter.
that's going to be. It's a three-dimensional filter. Which means it's harder. Like filters are like usually fixed towards a camera, but this
Yeah,
one
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
be.
But
So,
this is a filter
um,
in the world that is
yeah.
in the engine
I
in
mean,
the world that's been created.
I personally
So,
don't care how it works. I just think everything looks terrible when it all looks the same.
wait, what do you
So
mean?
they showed like 3 or 4 different games, right? All the games
Yeah.
have different game engines. All the characters in the games themselves look drastically different without it. But when you turn it on, all the characters look like they came from the same pot. So it's going to make every game look the same.
Yeah, I do wonder like what they're training it on because people's main things that I've seen online is the artistic intent disappearing, right?
Yeah.
I think it looked better in like Resident Evil compared to Hogwarts. And it's because Hogwarts it has a little bit more of an artistic, it's kind of stylized, it's not super
It aged
realistic.
them by 20 years, pretty much.
Yeah, like it looked terrible in Hogwarts, but it looked a little bit better in Resident Evil. So I think whatever they're training it on, um, it's like that same thing you'll see on like Midjourney and whatever. I don't know what we will never know what they're actually training it on, right? That's like confidential, sure, in Nvidia headquarters and stuff like that.
They're using
My
all of
whole
our
thing,
smartphones, probably of our selfies and our faces.
they're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder what they're training it on. But my whole thing is like I know there's been a lot of backlash on it, and I always battle this as an artist, um, in like the impact of the AI industry. I'm always for technology progression if it makes things go faster. I'm not for replacement um of an artist necessarily, but I think this I think it's just one of the things you don't have to use it. It's just interesting that it's in there. I think it can lead to good changes and stuff like that. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, screw this or whatever. But I'm never really in that camp. People are gonna say that to a lot of new things, as they do
Yeah.
historically. But
So what I
um,
what I was telling Jasper 3-bit, and I'm curious on your take on this because like this is the first time we're seeing it, right? But in 10 years, after there's even more Nvidia cards, more technologies, that could be like the standard, right? For like just how games are made and then how they're presented on PC and then also future console hardware,
And then
right?
I can't. And then you're going to get DLSS 6, and it's going to be like now you can choose between these 3 different art style filters for
Yeah,
it.
or
And
for
it's like,
example, on a lot of console games, you don't get to turn on FSR. It's just like how they, you know what I mean, are
built in.
reaching their optimization levels, right? So like what I'm getting at is like, okay, so let's say this technology continues to advance or whatever, and they're using it more and more, and all these other tools and all these other kind of things, right? Do you think that the artists are and the devs are more prone to using shortcuts, um, and stuff, or like, okay, I don't need to make this face look as good because guess what, Nvidia's got me there. It's just going to go through Nvidia's magic, and I can just stop work now, leaving it like a 2D looking kind of not amazing looking character. Do you know what I'm getting at? Do you think there is a potential that affects the dev um, way they make games, basically, to where it's like, well, hey, it's speeding up our process because it's actually just end up doing the work for us. Do you know what I mean?
There is a possibility. There's a couple avenues to that. Like it's like for one, developers will always take the shortcut. Just historically, they are looking for ways to not optimize the game. And I could just say like there's too many cases I've seen where people where developers would just like not optimize their game. And I'm just thinking they're always this going to opt to not try and optimize their game. And it sucks that it is this way, but they're just relying on technology to optimize for it for them. So yes, I think it is possible, but here's the thing: there are whenever you're introducing other platforms, like for example, consoles are using AMD,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like other older Xbox consoles, AMD. This is NVIDIA. So like, unless it's a case where AMD starts catching up and
Well,
infusing their
AMD's
hardware, I
supposed
think,
to announce their version of this soon.
yeah. So let's see how
And
good theirs
yeah,
is, but that will determine a lot, like, because then you'll see it possibly on Xbox and stuff like that on the console. But
AMD's
until
always been
that
worse.
happens, AMD has, yes, NVIDIA has been ahead of the curve a lot lately. AMD has always been
it always
the
seems like
other
they're
thing,
like
but
one step up, one
Year behind.
generation, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah, which is like a year in these
Yeah.
days, right? So it's like
so
whatever
until
Nvidia
that
announces the year
happens, then
before,
no.
AMD announces the next. Um,
Yeah. Um, and sadly, Nvidia aren't on consoles. So until that happens, we're safe, kind of,
They're on the
just for a
Switch.
little bit.
they are on the
Yeah,
Switch.
on the Switch. Switch actually needs some help. So I actually support
Yeah,
this
put
on the
that shit
Switch.
on the
Like goodness.
Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Let's go. Fuck me.
Yeah, please put that on the Switch. It needs something.
Make that shit
Yeah.
usable.
For sure. But I think To me, it's like an optional thing. I see it kind of like a GTA 5 mod. Like you can put it on, it may change the art, but certain things may be shiny. You're like, oh, that's cool. But in terms of like people worrying about like the original artist's intent being gone, I mean, it's the companies that are doing this. So it's like they are talking to uh Bethesda to be like,
Mhm.
hey, how's this? And then they're like, good. So it's kind of Bethesda's intent. You can argue like, oh, I like the way the original game looked, but they're talking to the companies
I
to make these changes. So I don't really agree.
yes,
Maybe
but
I'm just seeing it differently, but I don't know.
I've also heard that like a lot of the artists from like at least people were saying a lot of the Bethesda artists were actually hating this internally. So it may just
Yeah.
be that Nvidia sent Bethesda a bag and was like, "Put this in your game,
Or
and
like,
then we'll give you
I
like
mean, they had
$100
like a
million."
quote from Todd Howard. Todd Howard's like, "Yeah, I'm fully on board or with this kind of thing, right?" But like the actual people that are actually doing the work on like the models and all that kind of stuff, because what had happened was a lot of them had no idea until they saw this NVIDIA this thing. A lot of the developers that worked on these games. And which was kind of like weird as another controversy is going out there because they represented it like the devs are all on board, and then the devs are like, we never heard of this shit except for the few people that were quoted. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's like I don't have a concern over just this like 50 series card, and I see like people you could just turn it off. My whole thing
Yeah.
is talking about like 10 years in the future or whatever, if
Yeah, how
this
that
becomes
affect
the
that.
this
Yeah.
becomes the norm, like I said, a lot of games on console we don't get to choose that shit. A lot of games on console they will use these technologies because they don't give you as many options to turn on or off. They just kind of implement like, hey, this is how the game runs, and this is it what it is. Now some games now we get performance mode, balance mode, quality mode now, but even those are predefined things. We're not a lot of times in games going in and turning on or off FSR or frame generation or DLSS or do you go into your settings on the Switch, Jasper, and turn on or off DLSS?
No,
Exactly. So that what I mean. Like, so when it comes to that kind of stuff, like, does it become a point to where it becomes the standard almost because of the headroom it might save on developers on assets to use this technology? And if it is, and let's say 5-10 years down the road it becomes the standard next generation or whatever, do all the games end up kind of having this look to the characters for no matter what game it is? If it's a semi-realistic looking character, if it ends up projecting to be like this 3D filtered AI person, that would be the concern. However, like I said before, I don't think any of us have an actual use case for this yet. All we've seen is an NVIDIA demo, so we haven't seen it in the hands of the devs yet and how they would allow it to be implemented or used in their game. So
But if it's
we have
always
to
a
see.
toggle, what
Well, this is
like
a
would
dev thing
you
too.
pick?
Like, is it okay?
Yeah.
How much control of this would the devs have 3-bit? Like how it's presented, because they said that, hey, the devs like will have a say on how this is all going to look and how it's going to work with their game, to be stylized more towards the game, and they said that wasn't
Yeah.
really represented here. Now you're familiar with some of these technologies because when you're in a dev mode or whatever, and you toggle on and off these switches, right? Like 3D AI filter, turn it on, turn it
Well, some
off.
people in chat like turn off. I mean, I'm assuming if it works like DLSS like 4, just like they're assuming you can turn off and on and stuff like that. But
yeah. I
for
mean,
the dev side, I I mean, I see some people in chat saying like, it's like, oh, some devs didn't know about this. Like, I don't think the devs are gonna know about every. I'm not assuming that. I'm just saying that like the developers have to touch the tools that NVIDIA is giving them. It's not just NVIDIA being like, oh, we're gonna put this on your game and you can't do anything about it. That's all I'm saying. Because that was initially what I was hearing from people, just saying like NVIDIA did this to my game and they didn't even tell me, and that's not true. You have a lot of other companies like backing this, so it is going to get better. Like technology wise, like it's going to get more realistic. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. And the fact that the new Xbox is more PC based, maybe we will just get those options. It's going to be a weird hybrid situation
Yeah.
of which games do we get settings for, and which games is it
I
just more
mean,
like.
There's been a few games on the Series X where you have those setting choices, like the I forgot what it's called. The EA game that was like Magic, where you shot stuff and it was like marketed as like former Call of Duty people were making a Magic shooter, whatever the fuck that game was called.
I know
didn't
what
do
game
too
you're
well.
talking about, but it
Yeah.
just released and then died instantly, so I can't
Yeah,
remember what it was.
that game you had like the option to choose like FSFR on and stuff like that, and I think there was a few other EA games that may have let you do that. So some companies do let you change them on consoles, but it's still so, I guess, dependent on.
Yeah. It's
they
like,
wanna do.
will they automatically have the FSR like neural rendering thing with Project Helix, or not the FSR Diamond? Will they have that automatically enabled on Project Helix games for their optimization target? You know what I mean? And I don't know. We don't know. Or will we be able to turn it off?
I'm sure we will have an example of a game that relies on this so much, because there's always like that one, like Medium, right? For Xbox, like, oh, we're gonna utilize the power of the Series X and use this as a feature. I'm sure we're gonna have one game where the actual faces look like clay, but then the FSR makes it look beautiful. I'm
Starfield.
sure, but Starfield.
I mean, I love Starfield,
but we'll
but I
see.
mean, this like they don't have the best character faces in that game.
It's just the
You know what I mean?
stare. They
Yeah,
can look cool sometimes, but yeah, it's that stare. It looks kind of dead.
not clay
I
faces, but
agree. I
you know
love
what I mean.
Starfield.
It
Yeah.
like they're not doing Death Stranding shit in like Starfield as far as like the facial graphics go and stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, like Death Stranding, that's a good example. Like where a lot of these games will have like famous people or actors, and they'll like photo scan their face and put it in the game and stuff like that. If you start doing this AI filter on them, then they're gonna like potentially look a little like a different person. So it's like, what is the point of scanning their face in the first place? Just make a 3D model character and then put the AI on it.
Yeah, well, maybe they
They
just
have.
wouldn't use it for Death Stranding, you know, on the dev side, or
But
maybe
there's like
like
there's a number of games like that, like
yeah,
Hellblade, or
yeah.
even the sports games. Like some of them, they scan the people's faces. Like
Mm-hmm. The NBA
But
2K does a
I
really
would
good
say in
job.
those cases, they could just use. It's just a different rendering method. Not to get too nerdy, but
So
like.
that was to speak to your point though, Jasper, on the sports games and like 3-bit, like the one clip they had of like FC with the soccer player. That was the actual best use case for it, because it is a real person and it made him look more like the real person.
yeah,
Yeah, because
You know what I
you
mean?
just use the actual data of the photograph. If you already have the data of the soccer players in a studio, and then use that to train your AI for more realistic lighting and stuff like that, like it could probably do a really good job.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For real people, I could actually see it doing a better job than something like Hogwarts,
Mm-hmm.
where it's more stylized and you get like orcs and things like that. Like a orc is it looks stylistically because it's an orc. So you
So
may
somebody
get
in the
like
chat
certain
earlier
line.
said Craig would have they could use it for Craig.
Why
Uh,
people messing with Craig? Leave Craig
I
alone.
defend Craig, man. I like I said, I think he got a bad rap. I think that anybody taking a shot from a NPC just enemy that's not like a main character from like a distance in motion and pausing the image and then
Hard
zooming in on it,
in the back.
they're not going to look the best. Just saying.
You know, Halo
Any
Infinite's
game.
a game I would probably use it in because I hate the art style of Halo Infinite.
So in that case, what would you make it look like then?
I
mean,
just want like
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
go
look at like Halo 2 Anniversary, where it has like a more realistic, gritty feel, that's what I want Halo to look like. And then you get the kind of the wash, like kind of like what are they called, like not neon colors.
You think
but
Halo
like
Infinite was a little
that
too
pastel-y kind
Yeah.
of that pastel color look? Like it's just Halo Infinite just looks too like
clean.
different. I don't know. Yeah.
It's like clean lines and stuff for like the monoliths and like the on that ring, you know, all the parts that jut up, you know what I mean, and like are stacked that make the actual like landscape, you know what I mean? It's like just all clean and smooth, kind of.
Yeah.
I agree. Like
Of-
Halo 2 and Halo 1 had a lot more grittiness to them.
Yeah.
Even with the like and Halo 3 too. And I'd actually argue campaign wise, Halo 4, like as far as art style, was probably the peak.
Yeah.
Like as far as like what, you know, a Halo game could look like graphically, art style wise, like Halo 4 was fucking exceptional, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start getting clean around Halo 5.
Yeah, they start going with this cleaner look to it a little bit, like a little brighter, you know.
Yeah. Asafo says like they could use it in WWE, like
yeah,
it could work really well with like sports and realistic games like Michael Jordan and NBA 2K. You can make him look even more realistic. I could see it working pretty well in those cases. Is when you start getting more stylized games where I could see it being like a little cringy, but
yeah.
since this seems to be dependent on the studio, or can you just
that kind of brings up an interesting point though. Like there's a lot of games where you make your own character. How does that work?
Oh fuck, man! We're just gonna not even have to anymore. Yeah. We're just gonna be able to tell. We're gonna be able to tell. What's the fucking core? What's the AI thing for Xbox? Copilot. We're just gonna be able to be like, make a handsome-looking gentleman that's slightly robust with a little bit of scruff on his face, is slightly gray in the goatee. He's got blue eyes, and he runs an Xbox podcast called Fun Speculation with his buddies. He's a little overweight, but it's okay. He's still nice and charming and funny. You guys all love him. His name's Mav. Make him look like that. His eyes are kind of symmetrical. His nose is perfect. He's got great lips. And, you know, make that guy. Don't make him look Asian like 3-Bit
Brad
did.
Pitt, got it.
3-Bit tried to make me, and I was all of a sudden an Asian guy. I don't know.
See, I don't know why it did that to you. I was using some CG software, and I'm like, use this face, and it was I didn't have any picture of you, so I just took a screenshot of like one of the episodes and it made you look really Asian. So that could happen.
Yeah.
That could happen. Well, I don't know what it'll do for. That's such a good question. What it would do for like a custom face.
So like 3-Bit, okay, like take Lakeith Stanfield and Kid Cudi and just like mesh them.
Because like a lot of times
like,
there's a lot of people, like depending on how detailed the character creator is, like Cyberpunk, for example. There's people who spend like 2 hours just making their character. And then you're going to play the game and it's going to immediately change to an AI. It's like you just wasted 2 hours for no reason.
I guess it'll just know. It'll just know what the character looks like and then it'll just fill in the details. But it's kind of what AI does now, but sometimes it'll change little things. If it for areas that it doesn't recognize, I don't know. If it's engine level, then they'll look at individual assets. Like here's what an eyeball looks like, make it look like this. And so when you start to scale it up for a whole face, it kind of just be like, bam, this is an eyeball, this is an eyebrow.
I forgot what game it was, but there's some game that they showed off. It looked like a sci-fi game. Is like these two like soldiers like standing in a hangar or something like that. But it on
original?
No, it was like in one of the Nvidia DLSS 5 preview stuff. It was like two soldiers like standing in hangars, kind of like a sci-fi looking game. I don't even know what it was, but it gave like one of them like kind of like a detail on his face that wasn't even there. So I don't know.
All of a sudden,
Because
you got
the
a
way the
battle
shadows
scar
are-
from the sci-fi
Yeah.
battle, or for the battle he had on Mars back in 2782. I don't know.
Have
Alvin
to
said that was
train
Starfield.
more.
Oh, maybe it was. It probably was.
Oh yeah, that probably was. And someone mentioned like racing. Like imagine how realistic cars can look now with like this.
Yeah,
So it could be really cool. It
but
could
like
be.
those got to be in motion. How is this going to be
Yeah.
in fast motion?
Like if
too?
you go back and look at the soccer ball, like when they show like the character like kicking it and it's like comes towards the screen, the soccer ball gets so out of wonk, it looks bad.
Really? Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta go back and like, because I was looking at it on my phone and I wasn't really
Yeah, it's like
looking
early
at it.
use case, I think, right now, and like it's going to be interesting to see like what they do with this. I mean, it's a new technology, right? So over time it might prove its worth, and also might be a very good thing. I have no idea. Right now it just seems like a little jarring, just seeing the before and afters, right?
Yeah.
It's like the before and after pictures you see on for weight loss drugs and stuff like this, and like that's not real.
Yeah,
That's not the same person. Like that's not real, or like acne commercials is like, well, they don't have any fucking scars. But like, how do they take care of that? It's I don't know, man. It just seems a little bit interesting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not here either way for it right now. I will say it's weak as hell to act excited for it and talk of how great it is, and showcase it to the world with very high optimism, and then later come out and apologize for doing so after realizing that everyone hates it. And of course, I'm speaking of Digital Foundry here, who I guess for some reason there's some psychopaths out there that feel like something like this is warranting a death threat to Digital Foundry, which is fucking stupid and asinine. And anybody that is out there that getting upset at this kind of stuff to that extreme level, you need some serious help, my friend. And I genuinely hope that you can stand there and look yourself in the mirror and be like, why do I have so much hate towards other people? I need to talk to other people that are close to me and let them know what I'm going through and get some fucking help. Please do so. Because sending death threats to Digital Foundry over them liking this is dumb as hell. However, what's also dumb as hell is Digital Foundry coming out and be like, everybody hates this. So now I'm sorry that we didn't wait for you to hate it before we actually put out this video giving our own opinion. That is the most garbage, weakest thing. And like I said earlier, like, hey, if there isn't, you can't tell me anymore that Hive Mind, that these devs don't like all feed off of each other, or not devs, but all these games media guys don't feed off of each other, influence each other, all these kind of things where like they want to be part of the cool crowd, or like they want to champion things or not champion things based on what their viewers might think or what's going to get them the most attention. That 100% is what is happening here, because they went out and he blatantly said, John Linneman from Digital Foundry blatantly said, it would have been prudent for us to have waited for the reaction and feedback from the gamers and the viewers, and also from the devs, before we actually put out our video.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Like, why?
Are you not allowed to
their
think?
opinion.
Are you not allowed to think for yourself? Just if you believe what you said, and if the guys were excited for it, or just like stand behind it. Like, yeah, we thought that, and we still do. Now, people have raised legitimate concerns that have got us thinking about it, and there are some things out there that we definitely have questions about. That's fine. Don't go out there and say you should have fucking waited. You should have waited.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I can
That's
see how your
They're
initial
tech enthusiasts. Like,
no, well,
that
not
makes
not
sense.
just that, but like I could see how they initially would be excited for it because Nvidia personally went to them and handed them this before anyone else to react to, right? So if you get that kind of privilege, you're obviously going to be more positive to it because major companies like supporting you and you get this first access to it. Like obviously you're going to have a more positive take because it's cool or whatever. But if you can't form your own opinions, then I don't know. It's still kind of weird.
Then you shouldn't be in the fucking business in the first place. If you can't go out there and actually form your own opinion and actually just objectively give what you think on something, then why are you fucking doing it, period? Then you have zero validity in anything you ever say because we know now it is going to be pretty much influenced based on the popular opinion or what you think is going to get the best reaction.
100%. And it really shows, like, I have my gripes with Digital Foundry. Kind of going back to whenever they cover games, they'll like avoid Xbox, talking about Xbox. Just like little things they've done over the years.
You don't think this gives credence
like-
also to the Xbox tax? I mean,
It 100% does.
it
It
does.
100% does. And I will preach this to the to whatever. But it is a little bit annoying because they're seen as like these sort of the standard, I guess, for tech conversations and things like that. And it does suck though, because it's like, just stand by what you said. I understand why you were excited about it. It's a new, if you're just looking at it from outside lens, I know people's outraged by, hey, they're messing with my games and whatever. From a technical standpoint, it's different. Like there hasn't been huge gaming tech leaps in the past 5-10 years. There's been like some things with nanite and things like that, but a lot of that has led to performance drops, and we could talk about that, right? But there hasn't been like huge gaming leaps. So in terms of like tech leaps, it looks different. It's new technology. I would be excited about it just from that lens. So just to kind of follow the crowd, and just be like, oh, other people are hating it, I need to hate it. Like I've never been for that. Like if anything, I've disagreed with mass crowd quite a bit. But yeah, I have my gripes with Digital Foundry. So
Yeah.
I'm sort of biased in that regard, but I think they need to stick to if you're gonna say something, that's your opinion, just stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see, yeah, like where our opinions have changed a little bit after learning more. Or like, but don't say you should have waited. Like, that's like the worst thing you could possibly say. It's like as somebody made a comment, I said it's pretty much like waiting to review a game until you know other people liked it or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, people are really down for this game. I'm gonna make sure I give it a high score, or opposite because I want to be the contrarian. You know?
Did
what
you
I mean?
see what IGN did today with Crimson Desert?
Mm-mm.
They reviewed the
Okay.
game and they specifically said they didn't finish it, but then at the same time they're like, we can't review Marathon because it's like early access or whatever. It's like,
Yes, which I saw on
So weird.
I saw, was it on Iron Lord? Yeah, I saw on Iron Lords when Ty Guy Travis was talking to Iron Lords, and he was like, pretty much, we didn't do anything funny with Marathon here. It was just completely protocol. We're waiting. It's a games of service game, for the content. This is but like 100% bullshit. No disrespect to him, but they review games that are in early access that are games of service games. They review games that are in preview that are games of service games. They've reviewed Xbox games that are like just put into early access or game preview, knowing it's a game service game and it's going to be getting tons of updates and all that kind of stuff over time. And they held back the marathon review at the request of Bungie and Sony, for the sake of them getting more content. And then in a game like Crimson Desert, we didn't even finish it. We're still going to put a fucking score up. Just why the hell not? Like
they keep doing that. They keep showing their cards to Sony, and it's like there's so many example cases of it. It's honestly that's why it's hard for me to look at them in a vacuum of like I can respect their tech analysis. I can learn from their tech analysis, but them just showing their bias, like it gets kind of annoying. Like if I want to see, like I know they won't cover games if Xbox performs better on it and there's a big difference, they won't cover it. They just will refuse to cover it, or they'll just show the PS5 Pro version of a game compared to Xbox and not even show that. It's just little things they do. This adds up for me. But I can respect their tech analysis. Everything after that, I'm just like, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of them.
I think their tech analysis honestly is fucking pointless. I mean, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I
the
see
comparisons lead to toxic stuff.
I
for
see
sure.
absolutely no fucking value in their technical comparisons whatsoever. I do feel like, okay, it could be interesting for somebody to watch that's just wanted to be educated on how things work at times. But the actual performance tech analysis when they're comparing versions holds no fucking value to me whatsoever. You know why? Because we all have fucking eyeballs. We can all see
I'm
the
not
game.
sure about that sometimes.
Well, that's true. But we can all see the fucking game. And if we're seeing the game or we're playing the game, I've played through entire games before, and then you have Digital Foundry come out with some kind of like comparison thing that gets blown up on Twitter because like this one section is like 5 frames per second lower on one platform than the other in this certain situation with this certain thing happening, and they'll like, and that will blow up like across, like, oh my god, like nobody should play this unoptimized trash on Xbox. I'm like, what world are we fucking living in? Or like people make a big deal like, oh, they need to really crack down on getting these games optimized. Like, game could be fucking running buttery smooth 60 frames per second for almost the entire fucking thing. And if there's one or two little sections where they like purposefully are trying to get things as much density as possible and all these things happening, can they get it to dip below 4 or 5? That doesn't serve anybody. Maybe the developers themselves, if to do like hire them or to like do analysis on the performance of their games, like just for optimization reasons, but it doesn't serve us any value whatsoever. Like, you can play the game and never feel or notice any of the shit that they talk about because you have to blow it up. You have to have fucking a bar running across your screen that's going to potentially dip down a couple of things. You know what I mean? Like, it honestly does not affect the enjoyment of a game what they're doing at all right now. If a game looks and is choppy as shit and runs like shit, we're going to notice it. We don't need Digital Foundry to fucking tell us that. If a game's choppy and it has horrible frame rates, do we need Digital Foundry to tell us it is choppy and has horrible frame rates? Or can we see that for our own fucking eyes?
I think it's a domino thing, Mav. So, like, you know how Series S, people complain about the Series S, but the Series S being there forces developers to kind of optimize their game. And it causes that sort of domino sort of thing where I've seen internal conversations with certain companies, I'm not going to say who it is, where they will use, like, they know Digital Foundry is going to review their game, so they'll use that as a benchmark to kind of know how to optimize and fix stuff. So it's like a marketing thing. It's like good for them. etc. But I think it's like a domino sort of effect. Like
I
the fact that they're there, like I don't like them, but the industry, like Xbox knows how they're viewed in the world, right? They've had several documents where they're like, we know even if we do the best, the media is going to see it in this light because of how things are kind of skewed.
going
No,
going
go
back
ahead.
to what Mav was saying. You're saying that you don't need someone to tell you that it's running bad or whatever. I think sometimes you do because I look back and think back on Jedi Survivor when that came out. Everyone was loving that, and then I played it for 30 seconds. I'm like,
Trash.
this shit is not it. This shit is not it. And then like a day later, Digital Foundry put it out, and then everyone started hating the game. It's like, yeah, it fucking runs like ass.
But no, the media was not.
Yeah.
Jedi Survivor is such an interesting case to me because the media did not mention in all these reviews, did not mention how bad that game ran when it came out.
The only thing
The
is
only
that like,
people,
oh,
maybe
EA
Digital Foundry.
promised us that they were going to fix these things, so we didn't
Yes, they're
account for
like,
it in
oh
the
yeah.
review.
It's like, bro, they're so selective about like how they are choosing problems with certain games. Like if it's Xbox, it's looked at with a freaking magnifying like, oh, a frame drop, blah, blah, blah. Jedi Survivor, one of the buggiest games, not a word, not a freaking word. It's that will always be a good example to me because like why in the case of Digital Foundry, like oh you're seeing what other people are saying to determine what you yada yada yada. But in Jedi Survivor, you had the thing in front of you and you chose to be like, well, in the hope that they fix it. Like,
And it took them
are
like a
you supposed to
year.
review what's in front of you? They do that with Xbox games, like, oh, I'm reviewing what's in front of me. Like, well, they had an update like 2 days after. Like, well, sorry, review is in. Can't do anything. It's like I don't know. It's just crazy. Fuzzy
Yeah.
Tomato says Jedi Survivor was really really good besides the performance problems.
I couldn't finish it because of it.
I
I
couldn't.
never went back.
I got really far though. It was just I got stuck in a wall and it was a clay wall and I just couldn't look back since then. I'm sorry.
I
But
installed it on my Xbox Ally last night to give it another shot again, and maybe I'll do it on my
I'm sure they
PC
fix.
now. I don't know. Like if I still
Survivor, is that the second one?
dematerialize when I fucking do a
Yeah, I think so.
somersault, I'm gonna uninstall it.
I finished the first one, not the second one.
Yeah, I finished the first one, but I couldn't finish the second one.
They're, I mean, I think overall, like, they're good games. And, like, I think Survivor is like a good game at its heart. It's just that it ran and had all these issues, you know.
Yeah.
It took them forever to fix, and nobody. And I think different people have different tolerance levels for this. You know, where it's like hey, they don't really care to see the issues or whatever. But it's
Well,
like,
I think there's a lot of people that can't even tell the difference between 60 and 30.
yeah, 100%, and that's
Eh,
fine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. You know,
That's-
if they can't. But
when
like
you notice it, it's like it's
Yeah.
really bad.
it's for some it's jarring, you know. Like for me, after playing at 60 so much, it became jarring playing at 30, you know. And I have to like train myself during a 30 game to like get used to
I
it
get
again.
headaches.
Yeah, if a game is like certain games have been like okay, like you know that's fine, but like certain games are just like I can't play it, you know. Hogwarts
If it's
Legacy,
first person.
I had such a hard time getting into that.
Really? Hogwarts?
Yeah, because of the frame rate.
What was the frame rate? I
It was
thought
30. It
good.
was 30. No, it was 30, and it had like a performance mode that was like an inconsistent 40 something. It was like all over the place. But they've
I
updated
didn't notice
it
that as well.
since. They have updated it since, but it didn't run good for me. Like
I probably didn't notice it as much because of my TV, like
Yeah.
VRR stuff. It probably filled in the gaps.
And it's one I kind of wanted to go back to ever since I had the PC, but I just never did. You know. And I'm sure it's been updated on console to take advantage more of technology and stuff to be better. I have a couple super chats to get to. Mac 22th54 with the $2 super chat earlier said, hey, Jasper, have you seen the mods in Skyrim?
I have. I personally don't use mods in Bethesda games because I think it changes the game too much, and kind of takes away from the actual Bethesda's vision. But other games I'll use mods for if I'm like actually trying to, if I just want something different, like, and I don't know, just change
I
it
mean,
up.
like
I
Steel
like
used
I
mods and
like
changed Skyrim into basically like Demon Souls 3.
yeah.
It was crazy seeing his gameplay. I was like, that's fucking Skyrim? What the hell? It's crazy.
I don't use like individual mods where it like changes the characters or just like puts weapons in it. Like I like they're called overhaul mods, so it basically makes the entire game a new game. Like I'll play those every now and then, but just individual ones I don't really mess with.
Alvin with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Alvin says Helix will have a separate neural processor and have FSR Diamond. Do we assume this is all to achieve something similar to DLSS 5 or no? I would say if they've used the word neural rendering as part of the presentation for Helix, so for that reason, I say yes. They do have plans to implement something like that, and I think that's FSR Diamond is, and we just haven't seen the announcement yet, and we will. But to their advantage, much like Digital Foundry had wished they had an advantage before they put out their video, AMD will have the advantage of seeing the reaction to NVIDIA's announcement before they post information about this and how they present it. So I'm sure they'll be like, and this is not going to change the way the game looks. This is just going to make it better. And then they're going to show like way like better references of that. And everybody's going to be like, oh, AMD's doing it the fucking right way. See, this is what we want. NVIDIA, like, and they'll like, AMD's like, we finally got one up on NVIDIA. This is the advantage of going after, you know? So I don't know. We'll see.
This is how you share your game.
Yeah, exactly. This is how you use AI neural rendering.
That's immediately what I thought about when I saw like all the backlash of the DLSS 5 stuff. I was like, AMD's gonna have a field day when they announce theirs. They're like, "Ooh, we saw all that bad stuff." And we're like, maybe we don't announce it.
Yeah, or that, or like FSR Diamond is not an AI generative filter. Yeah. You know, it is not a 3D filter.
Yeah, I can imagine them. They're like, scratch that. They're like, if I was gonna present this next week, scrap it.
It's just going to slightly enhance things. And everybody's gonna be like, fuck yeah, slightly enhanced. Yeah. Not dramatically. Hell yeah. That's the way we go. 3-Bit member for 4 years. Showing off that he's been a member for a long ass time and rejoined the speculators. 3-Bit.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know, man.
I guess I just haven't been on for a while, so
it's
okay. Just didn't.
But okay. You are a member for 57 months, and you say nonsense. Yes. Thanks, 3-Bit. Appreciate
nonsense
you, bro.
That it canceled for some reason.
Yeah, you probably pissed you off from one of my 3-Bit jokes. It's okay.
Oh yeah, deserved it.
I did put the 3-Bit pony video in the Discord again recently.
I was cracking up at that. We need to play more like Monopoly games. That was fun.
Did you guys see there's like they're making a Star Wars Monopoly like video game?
Was that the like Fortnite shit that came out today?
Oh, was that a Fortnite thing? No, this is like a Ubisoft game.
I did not see
that, because there was a big Star Wars Fortnite thing where like Fortnite's implementing some tool to where you can make any Star Wars game you want. So it's basically going to be like Roblox, but in Fortnite, but using Star Wars assets, so you can make any game you want with Star Wars characters.
Yeah, this is by Ubisoft. It's called Monopoly: Star Wars Heroes versus Villains. It was announced 2 days ago.
So it's Monopoly, but Star Wars.
And it launches on June 11th.
Shouldn't that just be like DLC for Monopoly? Or is it trying to be like its own?
It's its own game.
Star Wars Angry Birds, bro.
Yeah, it's
okay.
its own
I
game.
mean, sure.
I like Monopoly video games. Down. So
I love I love Monopoly. I love Star Wars. So sure.
The only problem we had when we would play Monopoly is like somebody would always get booted offline for some reason.
Yeah, the servers weren't the greatest. At least give it an
They
option to
should
like.
they
come back
should
in.
make Uno, and then you can use your webcams again.
That went so well the first time. Oh man, I forgot about that. That was basically like Call of Duty lobbies. And Uno. That was
No,
insane.
Arc Raiders Prox Chat is the new Call of Duty lobbies.
Mm.
It's
See, I
it
still
might
haven't
be
got
it might
Arc
be
Raiders because I'm waiting.
it might
I
be
waited
worse.
for you to stop playing it. Is it?
It might
Oh
be
yeah,
worse.
you said you were like toxic for.
I even went toxic for a little bit, but not to the extreme of some of these people. I mean, like some of these.
Yeah.
I mean the amount of guys that said they wanted a RAPE Kate, just because they hear she's a girl.
Yeah.
And the
Toxic.
kind of stuff like, oh my god, like they hear a girl's voice and it's like, how can I be the most pathetic piece of shit asshole I've ever been in my life right now? And they just say random shit. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, the racist stuff you hear. I mean, like bro, like the Prox Chat and Arc Raiders is absolutely insane. Insane.
Oh man. See, I was gonna get Arc Raiders, but I'm like, oh, this is you're what did I say? You're passing up on the 6-month mark, something like that.
On Arc Raiders,
I had like a timeline. I had a 3-bit timeline for when you play games and how long you play them, and if you pass that, then I'll buy it.
it came
And I
out
think you passed
it came out on Halloween, I think, around Halloween.
Yeah, it was like October.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'll say 3-month mark.
But that's
well, it's
Yeah,
been like
that
five, like
yeah.
it's
Yeah, I'm just saying.
for like 5 months.
I think 5-6 months is too much, so I'll make it a new rule to make it like 3.
Yeah, we ain't done with Arc Raiders anytime soon.
Okay.
3-bit buys it. Oh, we're done with it now.
Yeah, you better not. That's happened like 4 or 5 times. Only reason, but because I will only want to play that game if I'm playing with somebody. So
Oh yeah, you would have a blast playing it.
I don't want to play that game solo. I feel like that sounds
Well,
like
it can
a
actually
nightmare.
be not as bad solo because you'll run into more friendlies. Like it's easier to be in friendly lobbies. There's 2 sides to Arc Raiders. There's like lobbies where it's like the most friendly, like cooperative, everybody wants to help each other world you could be in video games, and it's like this like utopia, right, where we're all just like, hey, let me give you this. Hi, friend. Let me show you where this objective is for your quest. How are you doing? Yeah, they'll have a little dance party, shoot off fireworks together. And it's like, oh, this is great and joyful. Let's all kill these arcs together and celebrate the
Gaming
loving
utopia.
life. Yeah, and it's amazing. And then there's a rat that shows up one of these games in one of those lobbies, and he shoots you, and you're like, I just got fucking like off guard because I've been living in fucking Nirvana land for a while, and you shoot them back. All of a sudden, because you defended yourself, next game, you're not in Utopia fucking Nirvana lobby anymore. You're in fucking hell. You are in the toxic, most racist, most fucking like sexist, like what people will just say the worst possible shit they can possibly think of because they're trying to sound cool
Balance of the
constantly.
force.
And yeah, there's no like friendlies. There is sometimes this middle ground where you come across the fake friendlies.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, those are the worst. Yeah. The fake friendlies are worse
I'm
than
friendly.
Yeah, hey, don't
Yeah.
lull somebody to sleep and wait until they turn their back and eventually kill them. Those fake friendlies are the worst.
That might be me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well,
you reel them in. And
I'm
then
not
you
gonna
take
say
their
I've
stuff.
never done it. I'm gonna say I've never done it,
See?
but I don't feel good about it when I have done
Yeah.
it, and I don't do it. Haven't done it often, and I usually do it when it's happened to me numerous times.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in the beginning because I
Yeah.
gotta learn first. But
But
once I
there's some
learn,
that are
yeah.
like, that's the only way they play. Let's just fake friendly, fake
I
friendly,
saw
fake
a
friendly.
s-
Yeah.
I saw a video where a dude he put like he was like propane tanks or mines in like one of the extraction points,
Yeah.
and he like got half the lobby to be like friendly. He's like, "Let's all go extract. I got the key. I got the key. We can
Yeah,
get out
yeah.
of here." And then he like got all of them in the room and then detonated it. It's killed like fucking 7 people.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, see that one I'd actually give them props for, because that was at least creative and fun, as opposed to like, hey, let's do all this stuff together and then randomly just gun us down. And then what's funny about those fuckers though is they'll be all talkative and nice, as when they do that, they are silent. They will stop talking because they're embarrassed and ashamed of themselves. Yeah, it's like I like it. Okay, either you're like all fucking PvP or you're PvE. You know what I mean? Or like you are PvE, but then you realize you're not in a PvP lobby or PvE lobby, or you realize that other people are shooting at you and stuff. Hey, go ham, you know. But yeah, I don't like the whole fake shit usually. So, yeah, crazy game though, man. It's a blast. I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. It's a fucking wild world in Arc Raiders. Let's see. Are you planning on getting a Crimson Desert 3-bit?
No.
Okay. I asked Jasper about it earlier, and he's playing
Not,
it.
not,
So.
not. It's just I want it, but
Yeah.
I can't justify it because there's so many other games right now
Right.
that I have a list of games I have to complete, and then eventually, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm just trying to be good. Yeah.
Um.
But it looks super cool. It looks amazing. Um, it looks very unhandholdy, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah. I don't think some of the games media
It'll be
like that fact though. Um.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Also, we have. Oh, did y'all see this? Polygon had an article. They decided
Oh
to.
yeah, I saw your tweet on it.
Yeah. So, Polygon decided randomly to post an article that says Xbox is less relevant than it's ever been, or something like that. Or is
Yeah.
no longer relevant, or
It
something like
was a
that.
post, right?
Yeah, it was a post with a link to an article.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like Josh Stein from Xbox commented on it as like, hey, I saw you guys stopped tweeting, posting to Twitter for a while. Y'all trying to change your metrics by like being engagement baiting or whatever, and then they deleted it, right? But this led to like, so I had a post where I was like, Xbox is so irrelevant that people can't stop talking about Xbox. Like, what? How does that make sense? Like, that's the contradictory to the definition of relevance. If something is irrelevant, no one cares to talk about it whatsoever, because it's irrelevant. Like, you don't. It doesn't even come to your mind. You don't give a shit. But Xbox is talked about more than PlayStation. I guess what I asked Grok. I said on Twitter, what is talked about more, Xbox or PlayStation?
People saying it was just a tweet. Yeah,
and it was Xbox. It wasn't even an article. It was just a post. There's no link.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
wondering.
so fucking weird, because it
It was
wasn't
just
even
supposed to be
long.
like Xbox sucks. Xbox sucks.
It wasn't even a long thing. It was just like a thing with like an image. I thought the image was the link. Are you fucking?
You got that?
Are you serious?
It was
They
that
just
Polygon
posted like some
employee
shit
that was
talking Xbox.
Xbox sucks.
That's even worse. That's even fucking worse. Imagine being a games media website, just like on there. PlayStation's no longer relevant. That's it. That's my context. That's it. There's no information I have to add.
That's it. No, okay.
Like, wow.
No, I saw that too, and that's been the case for a minute. Like, Sony is the most popular, PS5 most popular platform in terms of casual gamers, but in terms of like relevance or people talking about what is relevant, if you look up metrics on Google and a lot of other places, the most searched term isn't Sony, it isn't PS5, it isn't really a lot of Sony games. It's Xbox beats them in so many different metrics
Mm-hmm.
of conversation. And just because they try things, they try different things. So while Sony tends to like look at what Xbox does and they're like, oh, Xbox messed up there. I don't have to say nothing. That's a strategy for them. It works. Um, Xbox usually just dives into stuff and sees if it works, it sees if it doesn't, which creates conversation. Whereas Sony tends to be the one that kind of steps back and doesn't really engage with their audience either. I actually was talking with somebody about this, another developer, and we were kind of talking about like Xbox tends to be very forthcoming with their languaging. In terms of like you know who Phil Spencer is. Well, you knew whatever. Yeah, Phil Spencer. You had Sarah Bond. You have Aaron Greenberg. All these are personalities that people talk to. You might see a couple tweets where they reply to somebody on Twitter. Um, whereas on Sony and Nintendo, you don't. There is no representation on social media platforms. That's a strategy for them. It creates uh different conversations overall where Sony's the premium brand and stuff. Um, but Xbox is extremely relevant in terms of how many articles is written about them. Just the sentiment, it will be always different for Xbox because of X amount of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like one of the top selling platforms. Like, I mean, between there's like three. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's a very good amount on PC as well. So you could say, yeah, they're not number one storefront on PC. Obviously, it's Steam. They still have a PC storefront that keeps growing, and they're doing a lot there, right? So they would be the number. What is the number two storefront on PC? Is it Epic?
Probably.
Is it Xbox?
No, it's probably.
Is it
It may be Epic now. I think it was GOG for a while.
GOG? Maybe
Yeah, I was gonna say GOG.
GOG probably.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, it's up there with numerous other ones. Xbox storefront on PC, I would say probably like. So it has kind of a foothold there. Like it has talked about frequently. They have a partnership with a handheld device that does well. Like when people say that like the Steam machine isn't relevant, or I mean the Steam Deck because it only had sold a few million. Nobody's saying that because they don't care to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they don't care to say that because they're not trying to argue for PlayStation or anything like that. It just doesn't even come to their mind to argue it. Like to go out there and like try and say that Xbox is relevant, it's proving its relevancy. And the article that the tweet that I posted was like Xbox is so relevant that people are trying to argue that it's irrelevant, completely contradicting the definition of relevancy. Something is irrelevant, no one even cares to talk about it. And this was in response to when I had, I think I quoted or maybe I didn't quote it, but I had made a different post about that article. And the amount of comments that were on my thing about like people trying to talk about how irrelevant it is, and it's like, why are you even here? You know what I mean? Like if it's so relevant, why are you even seeing this post that's about Xbox? Why are you deciding to comment on it? You know what I mean? Like it's for a reason. That is what makes it relevant. The fact that you even give a shit one way or another. So it's I could say it's polarizing. With the amount of people that hate it for whatever fucking reason. But to say it's not relevant is like completely dog shit. And they removed that post. So I guess they saw how relevant it was.
so crazy.
It's
We're
just
gonna
fucking
constantly
weird,
get,
man.
yeah,
I,
like
I thought Polygon shut down.
it's just weird that it was a post. That makes it so much funnier though. That it was just a post that like some employee was like, Xbox is irrelevant, and and then deleted it. Like it just really goes into a lot of stuff we talk about. I wish it wasn't this way. I wish that game journalists can see things in totality of like here's Sony, I love Sony, here's Xbox, and I don't know. It just feels I don't know. It makes me really rely on like YouTubers, kind of like what Poison was saying in chat, like how he gets his coverage. When you have like mainstream people like kind of funny saying like in one, not even mentioning their recent comments, but like saying in one hand, oh, because of the Insomniac leaks, we're not going to cover it. We really respect Insomniac, and then immediately covering an Xbox leak, not even that far away from each other. You have instances like that. You have Digital Foundry doing the same thing with like if Xbox performs better than a Sony game, they just will not cover the game at all. Uh, it's like little instances like that, or Polygon saying this, having scores for games for the same games be lower on Xbox and higher on Sony and Metacritic. It ripples into the media and to the point where I don't like game journalist media. And I remember at some point people attacked Mav. I don't know if you remember that because of how he said like games journalist media just doesn't um, represent a reality in a lot of ways. But I just think it's super disingenuous to the point where if I'm looking for to purchase a game and I'm on Xbox as a fan, the media just doesn't represent what I'm looking for. So
Right.
I tend to just look for YouTubers, um, this community, honestly, to get the actuality of like games. Because then you get like stuff like Digital Foundry, like, oh, the public sentiment says they don't like this. That means I'm not supposed to like it. But that should not really be the case. And I
No.
wish it wasn't, but that's the
Or it
state of
should
like
not. It
game
shouldn't have an effect on
journalism.
how you do your initial content covering a subject either. It should be your own opinion. You
Yeah.
know, like that's what we're all here for. Speaking of the whole relevant post, some dude like this is a fucking. I don't even know where he was pulling this fucking shit from. I was trying to find it because I was just talking to HR Bomber, um, on that post. He was a cool guy. Like we've known each other for years now. Um, and I'm trying to find the conversation I was having. Some people are just so like out to get and attack anything and everybody for no reason. Um, and this was like an Xbox guy. Where's Bomber? Should have pulled this up ahead of time. Maybe it wasn't that post. Maybe it was the post where I said that the Xbox being a PC or console argument's dumb as hell.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I don't even want it. The whole thing is dumb.
yeah. Oh, we'll get into that in a minute here.
Oh, okay,
Fuck.
fine. I guess we will get to it.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god, I can't find it, guys. Anyway, it's I can't remember who it was, like Chaos or something like that. Um, but like I was just talking to Bomber about stuff in like the comment, like he commented on my post and I commented to him back, and he was talking about like Xbox, like what stuff they need to do, and I was like, yeah, Xbox is like uh Xbox is super relevant, so much so that people are having debates on whether the next one is a fucking PC or console. That's but everything everybody's fucking talking about right now. I put like, I'm excited to learn more about it, and I think their messaging just needs to be clear, right? And this guy who's like an Xbox guy, how can you not say their messaging has been clear? This just proves you're here for engagement only, and you don't actually care about, or you don't actually have any opinion on what you're saying. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? First off, I was having a conversation with somebody else. I never said that. I said that fucking the people were debating on whether it's a PC or console. I said I'm excited to learn more about it, and I said messaging needs to be clear because I was talking to Bomber about like their announcements in the future and stuff. You know, and this guy just like jumps to some crazy conclusion because he's just looking for that, you know. And I think a lot of people on social media and like, and I think games media too, I think they're just looking for that thing to go after. It's like they're gonna see things how they want to see it because it fits their view either of a game or a company or a person. And I think most of this games media and a lot of these people just don't fucking like Microsoft and don't like Xbox, right? And they're going to anything that's posted, anything that's out there, they're going to nitpick it, scrutinize it, twist it, shape it into any kind of way that can fit their narrative of how they view things, right? And it's unfortunate that we live in the world where people just can't like look at things and just take things for what they are, and then make a view and an opinion based on what you're seeing or what they're saying or whatever. But everybody's jumping to conclusions about everything. The PC and the PC versus console thing is got to be the fucking dumbest argument I have seen go on social media ever since Project Helix was announced. D-Batch on his whole fucking stupid ass tirade, like going after anybody who says it's a console, who was like so insistent that people call it a PC, and it's like a slap in the face of the fucking technology or something if we don't do that. And he just is insistent it's a PC. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. And like anybody on there making these fucking arguments about any of this shit, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the end user experience of the actual person fucking using the device. If I buy a device to put on my TV and it has access to my console games and the company is calling it a fucking console, well, guess what? If I feel like it's a console and if I like, then that's just what it is. It doesn't
we know
matter.
You know, like we know why they're doing it though, because like a lot of people are threatened by the idea that Xbox can now play a bunch of Sony games.
Well, it's also to
And
dissuade people, console people that are like, hey, you're not actually getting a console, you're getting a PC, guys. I know you guys are on console because you don't like PC. So this is what this is. It's going to be a PC. Trust me, man. It's a PC. You know? Like it's a PC. That's what he says, right? And that's what as other people are arguing constantly. It doesn't fucking matter if you can plug it in TV and you fucking get your games and it's a good experience. Then that's all that fucking matters. It's all these things have fucking been PCs. They've just been more closed off PCs.
Yeah, that's all consoles are. They're just closed off PCs.
Every game is developed on for
pointless.
PC first before it's like it's made on PCs. Games are made on PCs. Like it doesn't. This whole argument just fucking is so pointless because it doesn't even matter. If technically it's a PC, if technically it's a console, there is no technically. It's a product. Like it's what they decide to call it. There is no technically here. There has been several variations of hardware before, and it is what we make of it. If we decide it's a console because it gives us the experience that we are feeling like it's console-like, then it's a fucking console. One person trying to compare it to things that have existed before or coming out later doesn't fucking matter. What matters is our experience when we're using the device.
That's really important to people, Mav. As we've seen, you see like how hard Jeff Keighley was trying to basically say though, no, this is a PC until say, pretty sure it was Jeff Keighley. I think that definition works. They're working so hard to try and just say it's a PC as a negative point. So to get into the eyes of people that it'll be more complicated, that you have to set up things and that like that's the only thing I could think about. Like, why would you put it in a negative sort of connotation? It's not a console, it's a PC. Even though like they have
Like,
said constantly that it's a console,
we
like a
got to see
hybrid
the experience.
situation.
We got to see the experience.
Yeah.
Right? We got to let them show us the experience. Well, there's so much stuff we don't know. It's like people are jumping to conclusions for no reason yet because they haven't shown us anything yet. They haven't explained how it's going to work, what the dashboard is going to exactly look like. Right? People are jumping to conclusions basically based on what their feeling is that they think or what they think it's going to be. There's no history for a device like this existing before. Right? Where it'll play all of our console games from this generation and past, as well as new games, as well as PC games from other libraries.
It's gonna be special.
That in itself is a plus. Everybody talking about exclusives and all this stuff. I'm going to be only getting a PlayStation because you want to play their exclusives on PlayStation, all these other kind of things. That's cool, fine, you do that. But you're also losing out on all the fucking PC games you won't be getting to play on PlayStation that you will be on an Xbox. And how many games come out on PC that don't release on console? So fucking many. And there's also console games that don't release on PC. But guess what? On the Xbox, you don't have to fucking worry about either one of those problems. Either one of those fucking problems.
And people are going to ignore that point, though. It is unfortunate, but that's how the media is going to kind of shape it for the PC section of this console to be a negative and try to pitch it as complicated because of what it's trying to do is very gamer friendly with different backward compatibility talks and things like that. I kind of know certain things about this console, so I'm not going to speak too heavily into it, unfortunately. But what I will say is like the fact that it's a PC and a console combined, like that's not a negative. And when you see the media try to frame it as like, oh, it's just a PC, they're doing that because they are threatened with the fact that this console will most likely be able to play a lot of Sony's library, just off rip, unless Sony tries to stop it. And we've seen a lot of reports of like what Sony's trying to do, basically try and condense their future games being exclusive. They could do that, but their games take like 5-10 years to come out, at least recently, right? So the existing library being available on Steam and things like that is a threat, I think, to the games media, but also to Sony, possibly. So it's a plus for if you really want to, if like there are certain games on PC you've always wanted to play, but you're like, dang, I can't play it, and you're really just combining your library. This is great. This is awesome. There's a ton of games now available to you just off rip. So I don't see that as a negative, but I think people are just scared. They're always going to be scared of change in the gaming media. We've seen this so many different times throughout the Xbox's history when they announce certain things. The games media always responds with like how this is going to ruin gaming. When Xbox first announced that they were putting games to PC, I remember the backlash. You're like, oh, you're gonna ruin gaming. Like, why? Why do this now? Now it's the standard. So I think the gaming media is going to do that again with this console. They're just going to be like, oh, putting games on PC, like, what does that mean for their future? Like, how dare you? And you just have to take it on the chin because the gaming media is never going to be on the MS train until they set a standard, and then when Sony does it, it'll be okay. So, unfortunately, that's how it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's super cool. I'm super looking forward to it, and it's kind of bridging. This may be the last generation, depending on how things work out. But it's kind of like we have this storyline for from Xbox One to now, where it throughout the generations, the backwards compatibility aspect and basically saving your library has now reached this point where we're bridging the gap between console and PC. So I could see this almost being the last kind of step where the PC world and console world kind of are combining. Because what
Mhm.
is after that?
After
I don't
that, you
see.
just get. Man, I said this so long ago. 3-bit people
Yeah.
gave me such shit for this. Like the future of gaming for me was going to be a future where we have boxes that play almost everything, and you're going to just be able to incrementally like buy them to get more power, just like a fucking PC. Like when you decide to like, and the argument for me was like, if you're buying a at the time $500 was the price, right? It's different nowadays, obviously, because of everything the world has happened and stuff. But let's say you're spending $800 in 2027 on a device or a box or whatever, right? Or 2030, whenever. Okay, you have this budget. You go out there, you buy your gaming device. For me as a consumer, I want it to number one play as many games as possible, right? I want it to have great performance, and I want it to be able to last at least several years, right? But in 5 years on from that, as technology's improved and there's more horsepower out there and stuff, and I have $800 again, or maybe I sell that for 400 or whatever. Now I have okay, I go and spend this money. Do I want to buy a 4 or 5 year old device that is locked at that technology the way it was then for that same amount of money, or do I want to buy a better device? Right? That's the world the PC crowd has been living in ever since PCs existed. Right? Like if you buy a PC today, it's going to be way better than a PC from 4 years ago for the same amount of money. Now, that's not the same in the console space. For me, the future of gaming is where hey, the games are going to be more to where we can play more games on one device, but also we can incrementally upgrade them as we want to, and they will still be able to play those same games, just better. But on the fucking TV, on our couches, we shouldn't be locked and gatekept into having to buy underpowered, shitty hardware to be able to get access to a handful of games that are exclusive to that device, and that's the only thing that makes it special. That's the only thing maintaining its value. That is not good for
you'll have to
us.
change people's mindsets. It's not good for us, but you'll have to change people's mindset to, because something I realized, I guess I always realize it, but people love the console war, and that's
Right.
been
It's
really
exciting and
prevalent.
it's fun. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but in a perfect world, we could all play the same games, and it becomes the ecosystem wars where it's just like
Yeah. And you want
I
to plan
prefer to have
those
my
games?
achievements.
Right. Or
Yeah,
you're like, you like the device better. Or maybe they give you better features or better services on that device, right? Like, hey, the performance is better for the price. Like we win as consumers because that opens us up to more options, right? And it creates more competition actually with the actual hardware itself, as opposed to, okay, we can have shittier hardware, but we get away with it because they can't play these games somewhere else. Part of my thing with this too is like I keep seeing everybody talk about, hey, PS6 is going to be amazing, and also, hey, there's going to have a handheld. But I saw many people talking about this, and they think that the PS6 is going to have an entry level handheld. That's going to be the cheaper option to get into next gen for PlayStation. And I've seen a lot of these people. These fucking people that were arguing about the Series S this entire fucking generation? Talk about how it's holding back gaming? Now you want PlayStation to do a fucking handheld and expect it to play PS6 games natively? And that's not going to hold shit back? And they're saying it's going to be the cheaper option? How shitty does this fucking thing have to be the fucking cheaper option next gen? We know how much fucking handhelds cost for good technology, good hardware, good performance. They're way more expensive than actual consoles. Way more expensive for the power. The fucking ROG Xbox Ally doesn't even fucking touch the Series S. And they expect it to run PS6 games fucking natively for a cheaper price than the fucking entry point of the PS6? How much is that going to hold everything back if we do that? Holy fucking shit. That's way worse than what Xbox did with the Series S and the Series X. And they're going to be like,
a great entry point.
No, it's good. You know why? Because of neural rendering. Look, it's got the fucking AMD fucking, oh, then look, we got AI faces now. It's okay now, everybody, because we can just AI filter this 3D shit. This fucking supposedly technological fucking geniuses that are going out there talking about how the fucking Xbox is a PC don't even have the fucking common sense to realize that a PS6 native handheld, if it's decent at all, it's not going to be fucking cheaper than the fucking hardware itself. What world are we living in? Don't you see the devices that exist today? Do you want it to be the Switch 2? Do you want the fucking, what do you want fucking PlayStation to make games that are on a device like equivalent to a fucking Switch?
Hey, Poke-P is really good, bro.
It's okay. You can play God of War Egypt on the fucking PS6 handheld natively. Oh, great. Yeah. The Series S was holding things back.
The Portal was reviewing better than the Steam Deck. That was crazy. Like it's not even a native hand. Like the media is going to cover it exactly how they're just gonna be like, hey, this is awesome. This is awesome. The PS5 generation feels so weird to me. Like they did not. I'm biased. I'll preface that.
Yeah.
I'm biased towards Xbox. But the PS5 generation was probably, in my opinion, the worst generation in terms of exclusives. Prove me wrong.
Oh, hands down.
Am I wrong?
No.
Because the amount of like content they've done with PS4 and even PS3, like especially, I mean, PS2 is a whole other ball game. They had a ton. Amount of studio output and games that they're putting out was insane the last few generations. It just feels weird to be talking about a PS6 right now when I feel like they didn't even fully utilize the PS5.
Some people say it's 2027. I wouldn't surprise me if they actually just put one out and just like, hey, here's the next one, because like they know people are gonna buy it. Yeah. You know, like yeah. I think that, who knows, right? I don't see the whole handheld thing happening at a cheaper price unless the PS7 or sorry PS6. I'm forgetting where we're at. Unless the PS6 is so compatible with the PS5 and it's like they just do cross-gen the entire generation, and really what the handheld would be doing is playing the PS5 version. Yeah. That would be the only way I see that happening. It would be like playing like the shooter version that's going to be more equivalent to a 1080p low mode of the PS5 version, right? Like it's going to be at PS5 level or lower if it's a handheld,
If
right?
it's a handheld, that's going to be really interesting for developers because Series S improved performance because it forced them to optimize for a lower spec and it basically helped out all platforms. So imagine the Series S for the Sony device where developers already feel obligated to develop for Sony first. I feel like it could be a good thing. People will start optimizing out of the gate now
Yeah,
because
maybe.
they're going to optimize for Sony. They're going to optimize for a Sony device, which could help everybody.
Yeah, but you don't
So
have
this
to
could be a
optimize
good thing.
anymore with DLSS 5. You got your AI characters.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, it'd be hilarious though, because if everybody's talking about Series S holding things back this whole generation, and if they fucking do a handheld and have the games native on it, and at a lower price, right? Then that's definitely going to be underpowered comparative to what would last the long haul. You know what I mean? Like way more extreme than a Series S this generation. So
You think
it,
Sony would go for a hybrid route?
there's some people were trying to say that Steam is going to be. I thought it was like a hip hop gamer was saying that too. Like Steam is going to be on PS6. I don't know. I don't see Sony doing that. I do see Sony maybe putting a PC storefront up there. Um,
Yeah, they've
I
been talking about it for a while.
yeah, it was a rumor. I think Schreier may have gotten things like twisted a little bit when he says that they're stopping making these versions of the games, or they're going to not be doing PC on their single player. I think it's Steam. I could see a world where PlayStation finally puts a PC store up because that's another place for them to sell subscriptions to, and they see the future where there's more migration to PC, and they need to grow. They can't just sell to the same audience over and over again and expect this to grow. You know what I mean? So I think if you do their own storefront, it would give them more incentive to do day and date on the PC releases as opposed to like releasing them later. Um, and they'd be basically following in Xbox's footsteps of what Xbox did in the Xbox One generation, right? And they don't have to have like a storefront that's going to be like a direct competitor to Steam, right? But they would have a storefront to like, hey, if you're a PlayStation Extra user, hey, here's some games on PC, right? If you're a PlayStation Premium users, you get these features also on PC. Hey, here if you have this, you get access to these things, or you get access to that on the PC as well. And also, hey, buy these games on PC. Hey, we're gonna release more remasters and older versions of our library on PC as well. Like I could see them doing that. It's just about it getting implemented, and this was something that came out early this generation. Is that they were working on a PC store. They just hadn't been able to make it
And
happen.
it just kind of disappeared. Yeah. Um. Okay. With I still think there still were like remasters, remakes are Sony's bag. Like lately, with a ton of their games. With the closing of Blue Point, people were saying like, "Oh, like what's gonna happen now?" But they still have Nixus. So do you think they still go that route of remakes and remasters? I still think they will until they get rid of Nixus, or
Well,
I don't
Nexus
know.
is more of not necessarily remake or remaster. They're more of port. They port the
Well, they
game
Yeah,
to
they're a
port,
PC.
port
but
studio.
people are saying that uh they're not going to port anymore because of exclusive stuff, right? There's a bunch of rumors going around, like in terms of porting and remaking and remastering, uh, that they're not going to do anymore. I do think they should have a store. I know they plan to have a store, but they just haven't done it, or I don't know. I think they should have a store though. If they want to protect that Sony-ness, they should have a store. But do you guys think that they're gonna stop doing remakes, remasters, or ports
No,
just because of like Steam and Xbox?
no,
No,
no.
Sony's gonna do their own thing.
I mean, the
Okay, yeah.
PlayStation, if they have their own store, they wouldn't really be able to run easily on a Steam machine anyway because it's just Linux and it's not like Windows based. So people may be able to get it to work, but you'd have to do a bunch of finagly shit on it to get it to work, like you would on a Steam Deck now with Xbox. Whereas the Xbox device, I don't know exactly how they could block it. I saw some people saying like they could do something with like make it not work on the Magnus chips or something. The games like I don't know though. So like
All Sony has to do is
That's-
ask. If Sony just
that's-
asks Microsoft, say, "Hey, block our shit," Microsoft will do it because they don't want to have that legal battle.
yeah maybe I don't know, but
Such a stretch
the,
though. It's hard.
the other stores like they would be there, you know, and then a lot of those games are on Steam, so they wouldn't really be able to block those. I don't think so.
They would have to ask Steam because
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you go through Steam, then that's a different thing. But if you're like, I'm saying, if Sony doesn't want their PC launcher on the new Xbox,
right.
Microsoft will find a way to be like,
right. Oh right, yeah.
yeah,
That meant yeah. You're right.
It's weird though, because like Windows is like an open platform, you know, so it's like people can even if they say block it, like I mean, because they're gonna make it work for Windows. So how I don't know. There's probably some way.
Block Windows.
No, they wouldn't want to block Windows because then that would just kill their PC store off the bat. It would be worthless. Were they gonna fucking like this is only built for Mac users and Linux? Yeah, that good luck with that. So yeah, they're definitely gonna be accessible on Windows if they do
Well,
a PC store. But I don't know how that would work with.
it depends on how Windowsy it is, because I'm assuming it's still going to be somewhat locked down because it is a console itself, and they don't want people like tampering with it. And
Right.
fucking
That's
it
a lot
up.
of the question. That's a lot of questions. Like yeah, because like hacks and mods, and then also like
Yeah.
jail like breaking or for to get free games on from the store or who knows. Like I don't know what people are capable of on PC now, but I can imagine this device people will have fun with trying to like do some crazy shit. You know. But I remember like jailbroken original Xboxes. My buddy had one. And it is like you could
Yeah.
fucking just go through it, and you had there's like thousands of fucking games, and it was like crazy. Everybody was using those original Xboxes as like servers and stuff, you know. That it was I'd never seen it like there's so much shit people were doing with those things. Um, this other device like the Project Helix is gonna be capable of so much more, I think, than what a regular Xbox is. So it'll be interesting to see what people do with them. But I think that user experience for us is going to be tailor made to like not be PC like, you know, but still give us access. Like they're working on it, I think, and we just haven't seen the final vision of that, you know. But every update they have for like the Xbox ROG Ally and stuff, like it's more console-y like. You know, they keep doing these things to improve that experience too. And we have speaking of console, like we finally got new features for console, guy. Now I'm gonna look at this in two ways. It's absolutely awesome. There's Asha Sharma made a post saying that 2 weeks ago she had some of the team look into getting some of the most requested updates for consoles, right? And now they're already available to insiders. Talking about like theme colors. Hey, quick resume, being able to toggle it on and off for different games. Something we've been asking for since the beginning of this generation. For some multiplayer games, it doesn't work that great, right? There's also you can have more groups. You can have up to 10 groups now. So custom colors, quick resume changes, group changes. 2 weeks. She had these. Now, I'm not saying they hadn't worked on these things previously and maybe they got shelved. Miss Waffle says the engineer tweeted that it only took 2 weeks to get it up and running. Yeah, had they done any previous work before that and they went and revisited and then it took 2 weeks, or was it a pure 2 weeks from scratch? So I'll say this is absolutely awesome that she's paying attention to the console and actually giving us updates that are like community requested features again, stuff we've been wanting since the beginning of this fucking generation. But in a side note, kind of makes me look at Phil and Sarah a little suspect. If they're able to do this shit in 2 weeks and they're already asking for more stuff, what was happening to keep us from getting these fucking simple updates that took them 2 weeks to get done?
That's a good question. My guesstimate was like once, and I could be wrong, once the Activision Blizzard deal happened and the money people stepped in, I feel like Phil and Sarah Bond didn't have as much control over decisions anymore, and they would try to do stuff and it would just be blocked. And I think Asha Sharma is given more of a free pass. That's my theory.
Do you feel
What do
like?
you think?
I'll let Jasper answer that first because I got a question.
So my thought is, like you said, there was groups, and then there was the custom colors, and there was one other thing.
The quick resume, you're gonna be able to toggle off
Yeah.
certain
So
games.
the
from
only
being
thing
able to
that
do quick
really,
resume.
the only thing I think that really takes work in that is the custom colors. That's the only thing they had to work on. The other two, the quick resume on and off, and then the groups, that's just a toggle switch. You just go into a line of code and change it from 5 to 10. You go in and turn it off to on for the quick resume. That takes no time at all.
But
I think
they have to still go into the interface and like put the option in the you know what I mean, where it's located for the option. You know, like have a whole interface system for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's still not that much work, like in the grand scheme
Right.
of things. I think she's coming into this, and she's wanting to show that she's trying to make a difference and that she's listening to the community by putting these little things out there. Like she changed her fucking Twitter bio and put like members of the community on there, like their like names or whatever. That was super cringe to me. Just I don't know.
You weren't disappointed.
So
you weren't included.
No, I don't care about that. If I was, I wouldn't even want mine up there. Like the people, some of the people on that list are just like so fucking. I'll hold my breath.
I didn't even see this list that you're talking about.
Speak freely, Jasper. Let's create some drama. Let's create some community drama. Who would you like to call out that shouldn't have been on the list?
Oh, I see it.
Name.
Now.
I want names live on air. Let's go.
But some of that, it's just so cringe to me. So I think she's trying to come from the perspective that, look, I'm listening to the community. I see all of you out there. I'm listening to your needs, and I'm going to put change out there so that I'm doing something, so y'all respect me. And in reality, all she did was nothing. She just the fucking all that shit was already worked on or could be done in like 5 minutes.
2 weeks.
So yeah.
Right, but she did put out there like give us some more like things.
And I think the reason Phil didn't do this is one, because he saw that the groups things is an unused feature that no one actually cares about. Quick resume would have been nice, but it's like, who cares at the end of the day? It's like you just quit your game anyway. And then the live colors, like that was probably going to come eventually anyway.
Do it per title. That's interesting.
The quick resume thing should have been done.
Yeah, it should have been, but
like it's
like
people have been raising that at the beginning of this generation, and the fact that they got it implemented so quickly is kind of like a slap in the face a little bit from how they like didn't do it before to me, because for people that play a lot of multiplayer games, it's like having okay, every other game it works great, but this game you got to make sure you remember to go and quit out of it. It's separately from, you know what I mean, the way you leave the
multiplayer
other
games.
games. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know how many times when we try to play like a game like EA multiplayer games too, a lot of them like you can't connect a server or like whatever, and it's like fuck me. Okay, quit out of it. Reboot this fucking thing again. Here we go. Everybody wait for me. I'm coming. You
The
know,
only
like
reason I wanted it disabled was because it takes up resources in the back end, even though they say it doesn't, and it slows stuff down. It does.
right. I just want to be able to disable it for certain games, which is what they
Maybe I
did.
haven't realized.
And I think that was like Phil. I remember early on, I was like, "Oh, that's a really good idea. We should look at that." You know, and it's like they just never did. And maybe she went to like the team was like, "What's some of the most requested features we get?" You know, and somebody's like, "Quick resume. We need to fix this quick resume thing. I can get it done in like 2 weeks. Just let me do it." Somebody else like, people keep wanting more color options for their for their dashboard, and she's like, okay. And then somebody else is like, groups. Some people really are sick of not having enough groups. You know, she's like, okay, are these things we can get done quick? And they're like, yeah, let's get all this done, and then we'll start on some more stuff. They said there's more things coming as well that they haven't come out with yet, that they have started working on. They haven't announced what it is, and they're also looking for more things. So I know what you're saying, Jasper. It's like trying to win over the audience, like by, hey, here's some like quick and easy shit. But I think there is like apps like her messaging from the get go is return to Xbox, return like to like consoles important, consoles important, consoles important. Like, so she has to show that, because you can't just have a message and then have no action, which is something I heard her say in an interview before with her other stuff with AI. And so like you, with whatever direction when they're leading or sending out messaging, if you deliver a message, if there's no action behind it, then it's worthless. It becomes hollow. You know what I mean? So that was her like one of the number one messages that she kept having. And so this is, I think, her way of showing that we are doing that. Even if it's small now, the attention is there and we are working on it. You know, so I'm hoping we have some more cool updates. My question is, if this stuff was so easy and was community requested, you said like just like it wasn't important to them because or whatever. Well, maybe it should have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they had kept that attention over like the last 5 years, right? And did little things like that were like, okay, this is requested, but how important is it? You know what I mean? It's like over time, you just end up developing something that's better in the long run. You know what I mean? As opposed to just like, well,
I kind of look at it like I know Microsoft has the analytics on this internally of like how many people actually use like the groups feature.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that when they shut down the clubs, they saw that no one is using fucking clubs, so they shut it down. Like, it's like, do we put money into this thing that 1% of the users are using, or do we try to put effort into something else?
Well, everybody's using Quick Resume.
Well, not anymore, I guess, but
well, I mean, by just like by default, you know what I mean. So it's like, I don't know, I just like the attention now and I hope that continues.
Cool. I hope it continues towards like recording, like making that feel better and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest thing people have been asking to my, like making the recording experience like a little bit better. And then like looking through your footage and all that.
Well, they should, if they're listening for feedback, they should address the issue that came up like at the beginning of this year that people found out. Whereas if you have too many messages, your dashboard slows down and your Xbox becomes unusable.
You just bringing up stuff I didn't even know about.
Yeah, that was like a friends list, like messages and all that shit. Yeah. I heard about that.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
But I think, like, can't you just clear your cache and do the same thing?
that's only temporary. You have to actually go in and delete all your messages
Right.
for it to actually fix itself.
Well, I've had
Um,
Xbox since I was 10. I wonder how many messages I have.
That's what I'm saying.
I have no idea. That's interesting.
So I'm just gonna take everybody off my friends list, and delete any history I have on there at all,
Start
and
from
then
scratch.
just like my games will run better. Is what, or the menus will run better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's according to somebody that tested it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if it, I feel that because my Xbox, like, every time I used it the past couple years, which it's only been a few times now because I don't play on Xbox really anymore. But when I was using it like every day, it would take me like minutes to get into my games and apps for them to load before I could select the game. It was that slow, and I was like, it was becoming annoying.
Yeah. What's the Poison Maniac says? Can you delete the entire combo or message by message?
You can delete the entire conversation; it won't go away. I mean,
I have some. Okay.
it's not that big of a deal. Like you can just delete the whole thing and it goes away. But it's just I have messages from like the 360. I was like, why would I ever delete these?
I don't
Right.
want to delete some. Like, I have some
Yeah.
funny freaking messages. I'm sure that's in there from when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't checked, but that's interesting.
Cage Cunningham says supposedly not going over 85% on your hard drive helps a lot too. I've noticed that just in general with a history of gaming.
That's why I was keeping my games to like 3 games installed because it just took forever for them to load.
Yeah, like if you have like almost max filled up hard drive, the whole interface runs like shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's just interesting. The apps tend to crash more and have issues and stuff like,
Yeah.
and it's stuff like, YouTube, and then you'll sit there and it's like, this app failed to load, and like, what the fuck? And then you can't run any app. You go try and run any app, and none of them work. Then you got to do the whole fucking hard reset shit, and then your fucking controller blinks a million times, and it's like,
I was basically hard resetting my Xbox every day I turned it on.
Yeah, well, it's good you cleared that shit up. This is like basic stuff that heavy Xbox users are just familiar with. I think it's like just part of the life.
It used to be a problem on the 360 where if you had a lot of achievements, it would take forever to load.
That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
You guys be having some issues that I do not have. That's
because you barely play any fucking games 3-bit.
I play Pony, My Little Pony.
I'm just kidding, bro. Yeah, so hey, I'm happy new features. We got that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Forza Horizon 6 also. I'm just rolling through some stuff real quick. Forza Horizon 6 looking better and better. If Fuzzy was here, we'd talk a little about it more, but I'll wait until next week and talk Forza Horizon 6 more with Fuzz because they were adding some cool shit that I think he's going to be really excited for. They keep going deep diving on like customization and stuff, and like they're adding a lot to this Forza game. This is going to probably be what I thought Forza Horizon 5 was like kind of like the pinnacle of Forza Horizon. Like this Forza Horizon 6 is going to be like that game. It's like, I think if it can reach a peak, I hope it doesn't reach a peak. I hope it keeps ascending even after 6, but I think this will be the peak for Forza Horizon. Starfield's getting an update, guys. So it's coming to PS5 as well. Todd's sick of talking about Elder Scrolls 6, sick of people asking him about it. So if you guys, I was shocked with how nobody likes Starfield, how excited people were for the content updates. Isn't it amazing? Anytime they have news like that, it's like all these fans come out of the woodworks, and now it's already like beating a lot of PlayStation exclusive games on the PS storefront for pre-orders. How well do y'all think it's going to do on PlayStation?
Elder Scrolls.
No, Starfield.
No, Starfield. When does it come
Starfield?
out?
April something?
Trying to think of what comes out around then.
The
I
Cage said it's
don't
already in
know.
the
How
top
well-
3 PS pre-orders.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. How well did what's a comparative game? What's that other Obsidian game?
Outer Worlds 2?
Yeah,
That's
how
a
well did
different
that
level.
sell?
That's
It
That
is.
didn't sell
it
well
is.
at all.
Starfield's vaping.
yeah.
Yeah, Starfield's
Okay.
on a way other level than Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds
the
didn't sell well
best-selling-
in general, unfortunately.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about it. I have to.
Yeah, everybody did. I think it came out, and then it was a great game, really good game. A lot of people liked it, and it's just like, okay, nobody talked about it.
Yeah, I feel bad for Outer Worlds too. I don't know. It's hard to tell. What's certain Xbox games sell really well, like Sea of Thieves, and then that sold really well, and then Forza Horizon sold really well. I think Starfield has enough of a buzz that it's gonna do really well, but it's hard to tell.
I think it's going to
Yeah.
be one of the top games on PlayStation this year.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. Especially
That's
with the
gonna be really
content.
funny. Yeah. At least, does that mean so people are gonna review for the PS5 version? That's gonna be really funny to see the ratings be higher than
Oh,
Xbox.
and you'll see a Digital Foundry PS5 Pro look at Starfield as well, I'm sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they do.
And they'll compare it to the Series
Yep.
X version. And I'll have a
They
better
always do
version
that.
than both because I'm playing it on PC.
Like I would
Um,
hope a PS5 Pro version is better. That thing is way more expensive.
Yeah,
It better be better. But
exactly.
yeah, it's a whole other conversation too. Of people say like, "Look, we told you that it was coming. We proved it." I'm not even gonna get into that. That was funny to me.
What do y'all think? Yeah, that's a good question. Cage says Starfield Metacritic is going to skyrocket. What do y'all think it's going to get rated on the PlayStation? You think it'll be higher than the Xbox?
It'll be.
I don't even know what's the Xbox is.
It was like 80 something last time I
wasn't
seen
it like 83?
That's what it was, but like they change over time. So
I say 87 on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, it's 83. Wow, that was a lucky guess. So it's 83. Um,
I say
yeah, 87 sounds right. That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
just because they'll be like, there's more content now and it's optimized now.
yeah. So
Went down it a little bit. 86. 85. Wait. Let me see.
85 's not
86.
bad. I'll take 85.
Okay, I go back. Oh, 85. Final answer. Boop.
I'm gonna say
Let's
87.
see. 87.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
When does
one.
it come out?
It comes out in April, I think. First weekend, or it's like April 7th or April 11th. Starfield. Let me look this up. We got, I mean, some big stuff's releasing. And it's also, guys, like for Xbox users, like nobody was talking. Everybody, the whole conversation was about fucking PlayStation getting the game, but like these updates look awesome for all of us that own the game. The Free Lanes update, it has all this extra content in it, and then the Terran Armada actual storyline DLC that looks really good. So I'll be getting and playing it for sure when it comes out. I don't know if I'm gonna play Terran Armada like right away, just because I also didn't finish the last expansion yet. I kind of want to start a new playthrough. And I don't want to use my Starborn character. I want to do a whole new playthrough.
I did a new playthrough because why did I do it? I feel like I made some decision and I just started over. and I no okay, so I beat the game,
April 7th.
and then what did I do in my second playthrough? I guess I just I don't want to spoil it for people who've never played Starfield, but you can have like a new thing that happens once you beat the game. Um, DLC was great. I recommend everyone play it. You should definitely check it out, Mav. There's some cool missions in the DLC that it's like wow, it's breathtaking.
Yeah. I've played some. I mean, I've played some of it. I just kind of like got lost in the game. You know what I mean? Where I wasn't just playing the DLC stuff. You know,
People are mentioning in the comments that it was an 89, but it got dragged down because of Sony fans and
well, it
yada
had like
yada. Yeah, no, I mean,
one review from somebody that said because they think Bethesda hates trans people is why they gave it like a 4
Oh yeah.
or something.
it was so many.
Was it Jim Sterling or
Yeah,
whatever
the
did
Jim
that?
Sterling one.
Yeah.
And then there was another one that was like because it's not on PlayStation or something like that. They mentioned like
It was so many.
there was
Yeah,
like such weird
ridiculous.
shitty like takes and stuff that it was like shouldn't even be counted on a score when they're actually telling you like these personal feeling reasons of why they're scoring it that way, nothing to do with the game itself, you know.
It was punishing for what they wanted the game to be,
That's like if
which is
somebody
not how
had
you should score a game.
scored like Hogwarts Legacy a 2 or something because like, oh, I don't like J.K. Rowling. You know what I mean? It's like
Bro,
as a
do not
person,
be a
not as a
journalist.
writer. You know, it's like
Yeah,
you,
that was annoying too.
you can't count those scores into actual meta thing because it's like these people are just trying to sabotage something that's for personal reasons. It's not about the actual quality of the product. Um, but anyway, they get counted uh, for whatever reason, and they actually do end up having an impact. So, but you know, I think Starfield overall, I said this like Starfield will be a game that people play for a very long time, and we'll talk about it for a very long time. Whereas the other games that came out that year that got more praised or whatever are going to be forgotten or just talked about as a memory, you know. Whereas like Starfield, people will still be playing this shit for a long time. It's going to be awesome to get these
I think
updates. So.
this is great because what this does is all the people that was hating on the game, saying it was trash and all that, they're gonna play it and then they're gonna get soaked in, um, like I was, and realize how cool it is. And then that's gonna change people's perceptions towards it, and then it's gonna get a whole new wave, and then people are gonna ask for more stuff from it. So
I think
that's good for me
it's
because I love Starfield.
it's kind of hard to predict how well it will do on PlayStation. I think for me because it's one of those examples where like a game will come out on console first, and like a year later it comes out on PC, and then like the hype's already dead for it, and then it only sells like a few 100,000 on PC. It's like, but if it was like day and date on PC and console, it would have been like the biggest game they're out that year. But because they delayed it, like no one talks about
It's
it
hard to
anymore.
tell
Like,
because
that,
but 'cause Forza did really well, so that I don't know. It could go either way. Like that's just an example, but
yeah,
it could go the way where people like, yeah, the hype is dead. It's hard to tell with Starfield because I remember when it came out, there's a lot of conversation around it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got in some massive heated debates after Starfield came out just because the way people were talking and shit. It was like, it's a fucking got a good score, it's a good game, people, but like the way people were talking about it was just like, what the fuck are we? It's so weird, man. People are so weird. Uh, on a personal note, MLB The Show, NHL, college football. This is a personal request to EA and also to Sony. Put these motherfucking games on PC. What are we fucking doing?
oh yeah, didn't you tweet and say they didn't look that good?
Yeah, I like. Okay, so
Well,
here's the
boy,
thing.
do I have a feature for you, DLSS 5.
Oh God, yeah. Well, they showed it on the FC game.
Yeah,
Like, It's just so stupid for them not like because they put Madden on PC now. They put NBA 2K on PC. You know, FC's on PC. The most popular games are on PC, right?
Yeah,
But it's like, oh,
I
these
would have
games that
played
aren't
college
as
football,
popular.
but it never came on PC.
Yeah, like why are they not fucking putting MLB The Show on PC? It's on the fucking Switch. Why aren't you putting it on PC? Like college football, like it sold more than Madden did last
Yeah,
year. I don't
it
know
would
if
have.
this year
That's
too, but
another one of those examples. It would have been one of the biggest games that year if they put it on PC
yeah, and
because it had so
NHL
much hype around it.
also like, come on, guys, like it's like certain ones they don't, but the biggest ones they do, you know. So it's like, aren't you finding? Don't you think that like maybe you could reach more gamers and grow popularity of these games if you actually put these games on PC? Like, I just don't fucking understand it, man. Like I sit here and I'm playing a lot of games here, right? Um, and I'm like, I want to experience and play MLB The Show on my ultra wide screen, right? Right here, because this is where I'm hanging out a lot of the time, you know. So, okay, if I put my console here, if I use it on the screen that I like to play on, it's gonna be fucking handle. It's gonna be bars on the side. You know what I mean? Um, and it wouldn't look as good. Like the PC, you get the extra enhancements with either frame rate or all that stuff, and they could massively benefit on all these sports games. Um, it's just I get you. Game of Justice is rampant cheating, and complex, diverse hardware optimization on PC. Well, they do it for their other fucking games.
They have Madden and NBA on there. Like,
those are the most
Madden
competitive.
and college football. Madden and college football is not that different. They could have put college football in there.
Yeah, and like NBA is 2K does it on, and it's like works there. I mean, they put FC on it. EA does as well. It's just like they're missing the ball there. And the other thing is MLB The Show. It's time to fucking update your graphics. God, what the fuck are you doing? They've held the
That's always
same.
my biggest gripe with sports games.
Well, like every other sports franchise has pretty much taken this generation a decent leap in graphics somewhat. Madden has. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh my god, holy shit, but like NBA has, Madden has, FC has, all of them have like improved where it's like, okay, you can definitely tell a difference between a game like 7 years ago and today, right? You play one, then you play the next one, you can definitely tell dramatic improvement. MLB The Show used to be the gold standard for fucking graphics, realism, realistic animation, and it's like, because they've been so stagnant with it, and whenever I see this game, it's like looks the same every fucking year, way more so than any other sports game. And it's a good game. Like, these shows are fucking fun as hell. They're great games, but like at some point, man, they gotta get back to fucking making it shine. Like PS2, PS3, early PS4 days, man, nothing was touching the show with graphics, and it stopped.
Sony.
It's the same problem. Same problem with the fucking leadership, the way they doing things, man. I just don't fucking get it. So anyway,
I'll say that like that's a Sony problem, but also I do see in totality like sports games tend to, especially if they have no competition, if they have no competition, like another game that's similar on their level, then they are going to be extra slow with updating. Like Madden is a good example.
I mean, all
I
the shows
slow
improved
but
in like the last decade is hair.
I just think sports games are the biggest scams in the game. Like, besides gotcha games, sports games are right up there by the biggest scams in the game industry.
I agree. I think there's a lot of work that goes into them too, that like with certain things, but like it's I understand the gradual improvements. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How they're not taking massive leaps every single year because that's like not feasible. But I don't understand staying completely stagnant graphically for so long. Like that's where it's like none of the other ones have done that. You know, all of them have like been improving, except for the show. So I'm not saying it looks
Yeah,
like
hopefully.
horrible or anything. It's just that
Have
it
people
was
been like really talking for it? Like
well. Anytime,
people been championing?
anytime you watch the show, the review or anything, it's like a great game. It's fun. You know, this mode, this is that, and it looks the same again. It looks exactly the same. I mean, you can have comparisons. You know, like the same animations, the same this, the same that. You know, it's like the game looks identical, really, to what they've had for the last like 10 years, pretty much. You know, they've improved the hair this generation a little bit. Other than that, it's like the same. And it's the reason it's important is because if you stop keeping up with that, then it starts to look like it's getting worse because we're used to seeing the graphics improve. So even though it's been stagnant and it hasn't gotten better, and it was at such a great place, it does something to your mind where it starts like it's like, oh, the graphics getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse because you're expecting these improvements and stuff, you know. So, yeah, it just needs to like fucking, or they need competition, you know.
Yeah, competition will slap that right out of them, and they would have like amazing, even more amazing hair physics and cloth simulations and lighting and what the heck is that thing called? I think in Red Dead where if light passes through an ear, you can
Mm-hmm.
see the blood flow. I forgot what that's called. It always looks good when games do that. Um, yeah. Until they get competition, they have no reason to because people will just keep buying it each year because there is nothing to go to if you're a huge baseball fan, they're really not incentivized to. Because if you're a baseball fan, that's the game you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why it was really good when there was Madden and 2K because they were pushing each other towards greatness, and 2K added all these new features in there. And then they got the exclusive rights, and now EA could do whatever it wants
Yeah.
every single year.
Yeah. These companies got
So,
to stop doing these exclusive rights shit, you know, for
yeah,
for the
it's
games.
annoying.
It's not a good business move, I don't think, for anybody. Like they could sell the rights to 3 or 4 companies and make more money probably, and also you have the chance to actually have competition in that space and have better products because of it. Like the different people have different preferences on things. Like I would like to see NBA Live come back and give some competition in NBA 2K. And they've tried numerous times, but they
Live is a
haven't.
perfect
But like the
example.
weird thing with that is like they don't even have an exclusive license. They just fucking EA gave up.
Yeah, because they
So
were
nobody
literally
else,
driven away.
nobody else
Yeah.
like was like, hey, we want to step foot in the ring. It's like, nope, 2K's got this. We're just back in. Like somebody get some fucking balls. Make a good fucking game and go
Yeah.
out there and put some shit out there,
But that
man.
could
It's like,
happen with Madden, which is why I feel like EA is so protective of Madden. Because if someone does that, if someone did that to them with NBA, imagine someone does that to them with the NFL. They would. That's like their moneymaker, Madden.
mm-hmm.
So they're very protective over it. But I think someone could literally come in like 2K, make an amazing football game with all these different features, and then it makes Madden look like kids' toys.
Well, they did.
But they did. Yeah,
So yeah, like
they did.
literally 2K came out with the best football game of all time.
Yeah,
And then
still love that game.
they
I
got
don't know.
bought it.
NFL
Hurried up.
Street was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm talking about like
Yeah.
I
but
do
yeah,
want
like
little games like that again.
let's see more competition, man. And like I see that these companies doing like unlicensed games, and those can be like, hey, you can have really good ones and stuff, but like they're never gonna replace the licensed ones. They're never gonna be able to reach that level, just because like people want to play as the actual teams with the real players. and stuff, and that's part of what makes it special, right? Like, so I see like this e-baseball going on PlayStation and PC right now. Sav was talking about it on Iron Lords, and it looks great. I'm sure it plays great, but man, I don't know if it's going to be able to make a dent because they don't have the real fucking players, you know.
Yeah.
They got no competition in the football space. They got, no competition in basketball. Some of these games they aren't putting on PC. I'm a sports gaming like a sports gamer. Like I play a lot of sports
love
games. I
sports
always
games.
have.
I'll complain
Uh,
about them, but I still play them.
but like fuck, man, I just let's do better, please. Um, anyway, but yeah, I guess we'll get out of here on that. There's a couple other things. There was so many things I wanted to talk about, but I just don't have time. So
All good.
try and get to some of these other things next week. But I hope you all enjoyed the show. Hey, I did get to try Solasta 2. It was a great game preview. Go check out my stream, my Mavcast stream the other day. Amazing game. I can't honestly, like, I was kind of blown away. It's in early access right now.
Was that a sponsored thing?
It's like it's not a sponsored thing, but it's like
I didn't know if like they gave you like a copy or whatever to play.
they gave me they
I
gave
thought
me a
it was like
copy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of like you can use to review it or stream it or create content around it. You just have to you will do something with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to do specific things or whatever. But I was honestly like I kind of broke one. I was given a code also for Sacred 2 Remaster. I shouldn't be saying this, but I fucking didn't want to make any fucking content on it because I was so pissed off at what it was. Like it just was. It's not worth it. Don't fucking waste your money buying Sacred 2 Remaster. Even if you're a Sacred 2 fan, just play the fucking backwards compatibility version on Xbox. Get Sacred 2 that way. Don't buy the more expensive remaster that they came out with because it's a fucking slap in the face. They didn't do shit. Barely. They didn't do shit to this thing. It was like it's like the least amount possible you could possibly do. It seems like. So anyway.
Yeah, like a sharpening filter, something like that.
Yeah, that's the way it comes across to me.
It was no DLSS 5.
Yeah, we need DLSS 5.
Yeah, so I didn't make
So,
content on
no
it. I
tidbits.
didn't stream it. I just didn't want to subject anybody to it. Yeah, no tidbits. Fuzzy's not here. I have the tidbits stuff he sent me, but we're already like at 3 hours long, guys.
I mean, the big game this week that everyone cares about is Crimson Desert.
Yeah, Crimson Desert. And honestly, like I'm trying to get away from doing tidbits because it's also the reason why I wasn't able to get my show uploaded to audio last week. Because the trailer got copyright claimed, even though it's unjustified. It caused an issue with the file when I had to edit it for
I just
YouTube.
have to mute all the trailers.
It was
going forward.
muted. It was the video of it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was WWE.
Waiting guns around.
WWE and 2K26. They blocked, and then like Tidbits last week had like 3 copyright claims on it.
It's so weird. They can't do that.
They're not supposed to be able
By
to,
the way.
but they do.
They're-
You know. And the show last week
annoying.
actually became unviewable for a day for anybody watching after, so it disappeared off of YouTube. So I want to do Tidbits. I love Tidbits. I have fun with it, but it's becoming a problem. The fact that I have it attached to the podcast also, if I just kept it separate and did a separate Tidbits thing, separate from the podcast, that may work because at least the problem is isolated to that. But having it attached to the podcast is like, it can cause a problem with me being able to do what I need to do with the show and the podcast, on my side,
Screw YouTube for doing that. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
It is.
And you said quick thoughts on Spider-Man trailer.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot
Remember
more-
we argued about in No Way Home, that like that little, we were like,
The
hey,
kick.
we think there's other Spider-Man. I think they did it again.
Yeah.
I think that shot where Spider-Man and the ninjas, I think they're hiding like Daredevil. There's like too much empty space there. So I think they pulled
Oh,
another one
when
of those.
Mav thought was like, no, he's like clearly kicking him or whatever. He's like, whatever the hell it was. I remember
Oh
there was
yeah.
like some stupid argument.
No, y'all were
We
saying
argued
that
about that.
y'all were saying
And then
that
he
they
got
like
up in his he got up in his chair and started like jumping around in his room.
y'all were saying that they
That was a funny
CG.
episode.
There was like a rumor that they CG erased somebody or something, and and I was like, no, it like he could easily like I was trying to demonstrate. I can't remember.
But he was invisible and he was just going
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so yeah, I think Daredevil's in there. But it looks sick. I'm excited to see Spider-Man and Dune. Dune looks incredible as
Yeah,
well.
I was more excited about the Dune trailer actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Sick.
pumped for that, man. It's like best trilogy probably in a long time. We'll have to see how it plays out, the final one, obviously, to be able to make that determination. But it was great. Yeah, but hey, 3-bit, thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been
Um,
fun, man. I had to I just was house hunting, so I came back
yeah.
from doing that. So enjoy this backdrop of Keanu
Bro,
Reeves
you're
staring
moving
over my
again?
shoulder. Yeah, yeah, I am moving again.
I guess it's been another
But
year.
I know. I actually did not think I was gonna move from this house. It's a whole story. Uh, but here we are. So appreciate everybody for dropping on in. I'm yes, in Poison Maniac. So you're moving again? Yes, I'm moving. So once I'm done moving, Pixelated Echoes is coming back. So stay tuned for that. I've been working on app stuff with the guy Isaac Hayes, if you know him. Been
Heard
working
the
on his
name.
app with some. Yeah, it's like his father was a very famous musician guy. So I've been doing stuff with that, some game stuff again, and some TV show stuff for Bad Heroes. So a lot of things going on that I'm excited about. So just stay tuned on my different socials, Blue Sky, um, all the things. And I had a great time, great topics, and appreciate you all. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Thanks, 3-bit. And Jasper, surprised that you're able to be here this week, man. But I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah.
Tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
Yo, check it out, Lord Jasper, Twitter, all that fun stuff. I won't be back. This was like a special occasion because I had today off, so that's why I was here. So I probably won't be back again until next month. It maybe. We'll see. And it was great to have 3-bit, and it was just great to be able to do a show again. I like doing these when I can. And then Mav is trying on his new Fallout glasses, I think.
Are those gunners?
Yeah.
Those are cool.
These
Nice.
are my Dahmer glasses. No, these are the Dahmer ones.
Those are cool. I actually need
Actually,
one of those.
I actually have I gotta work on a review for these. These are the Dahmer ones.
You gotta do a skit with
I want to see Jasper in
like
these, actually. No, these are like I got to do a review, so I won't. But like, hey, really fucking good,
Are
honestly.
they like almost prescription? Like, does it make your eyesight clearer, or does it just block light?
It
like
blocks
blue
like
light
it
glasses.
blocks
Or
yeah,
just
it
like
blocks light blue light. These ones are amber, so they kind of have like like a light kind of like warmish tint to it. It gives a slight magnification, but you can get them prescription if you want.
oh nice, okay.
But yeah, they're like, I'll just say I wasn't expecting the difference that it has on gaming.
Bad or
Pretty
good?
pretty
I guess
crazy.
you find out in the review. Dun.
Yeah, little tease.
I may get some once I get my LASIK, so I don't have to wear two glasses at the same time.
Yeah. they're yeah, and they're I'll show in the video, but I'll show you like there's come with a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool, man. But yeah, everyone, that's what you have to look forward to. A review for the Gunnar Fallout glasses. You got 2 pair to do, and then also maybe Mavcast or something coming up here in the next few days. We'll see. I'm gonna be playing some more games, probably playing some of the show or something, but we'll see. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy, and we'll see you soon. Peace out. Oh, hey, shit! Did I ever go on? Spartan. Oh, so Spartan, are you there, bro? I meant to stop. Spartan 6616 gifted 5 Fun Speculation memberships.
Oh,
I hope you're still there. Fuck. I am sorry. I got caught up with our conversation. I meant to get to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the 5 gifted memberships. Spartan, you absolutely fucking rock. You're the man. And everybody else in the chat, you all rock too. I hope you all have a good one. Appreciate you all. Take it easy. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.